From Mars.
In some ways, I'm old-fashioned and sentimental. I save love letters, and I press flowers in books. But I do like the modern way to have prettier hair. That's why I like Nice and Easy. It's got built-in conditioners, and the color looks so honest. It lets me be me. I guess that's why Nice and Easy is the world's best-selling hair color.
Now, here is a corn lover, and there's nothing more gratifying to a corn lover than to know that her mother has given her delicious Del Monte family-style corn. More people eat it than any other corn like it. This is a special strain developed to be sweet and tender. And when a corn lover is eating Del Monte corn, she probably doesn't need to hear me talking about how good it is, right? Well, then I'm just going to go into the living room and talk about corn to the sofa.
Nothing's too good for Daddy and me. Mom brings Del Monte home.
Purina Puppy Chow helps little puppies grow into big puppies. But then its job is only half done, because even after he looks full grown on the outside, inside his muscles are still forming and his bones are still growing for about a full year. That's why he needs a full year of the extra nutrition in Puppy Chow. Puppy Chow for a full year till he's full grown.
Decision 88, election update. Here is Tom Brokaw, NBC News.
Good evening. Senator Bob Dole wins a doubleheader tonight in South Dakota and in Minnesota. Let us show you our projections now in those Midwestern states. Dole is our projected winner in South Dakota, and a very impressive showing tonight in Minnesota as well for Senator Bob Dole. And look what else happened in Minnesota. Pat Robertson, our projected runner-up, beating out Vice President George Bush. On the Democratic side, in South Dakota, Missouri Congressman Richard Gephardt, our projected winner over Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis. The vote now in South Dakota. As you can see, more than half of the vote has been counted. A very significant victory tonight for Richard Gephardt. It is his second Midwestern win. He won in Iowa, of course. Michael Dukakis spent a lot of money in South Dakota and was well organized but fell off the pace in the closing hours of the campaign. And Al Gore, who is trying to demonstrate that he's a national candidate, not just a regional candidate, gets only 8% of the vote. On the Republican side, Bob Dole, the winner in South Dakota, and another close race for second place between Robertson and Bush. If Robertson beats Bush here, it will be the third time that he has defeated the sitting vice president in the rural Midwest. So that would not be a good night for Vice President George Bush. We'll have a complete wrap-up on all of this tonight, including interviews with Gephardt and Dukakis at 11:30, 10:30 Central Time. For now, I'm Tom Brokaw, NBC News, New York.
Come on, you guys. The sun's already up. It's going to be a golden day.
Let's eat.
Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Crispy, crunchy graham cereal, family breakfast treat. Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Golden honey, just a touch with Graham's golden wheat.
It's a great tasting part of a complete breakfast for the whole family.
Try those golden grahams and have a golden day.
After you take away the bread, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and mayonnaise, what have you got? Well, with Oscar Mayer bologna, you've got meat, and lots of it. Cuts from the beef brisket, chuck, round, and flank. Cuts of pork side and shoulder, never cereal or filler. Oscar Mayer bologna. The beginning of a beautiful sandwich.
When can I pick up the pictures?
Thursday.
Thursday, okay, let me make a note of that.
You gonna write it down there?
Well, it's going to,
Oh,
yeah.
well, then let's say Tuesday.
You mean 2 days earlier?
No, 5 days later.
5 days later, I thought as much.
If this customer were at a Photomat store, we'd be introducing him to our brand new picture pickup promise. Photomat's way of telling you exactly when your pictures will be ready.
That quick?
Sure, and if it doesn't work out, you get a free roll of film.
Oh, no. You get in trouble for
It's
that.
no problem.
Huh?
It's a Photomat policy.
The Photomat picture pickup promise.
Is there a Photomat store around here?
Saturday, the fun starts when Nancy meets Francie, Sunshine's mom.
Actually, we live a very quiet life here. Oh, I want you. And what do you call this? Bad timing.
Then there's a fire at the fishes.
The empty house 2 doors down, it's on fire.
Could Victor be a firebug?
These children are under my supervision.
Go fish!
And Starsky and Hutch are set up by the mob. Right after Blansky's Beauties and Fish.
old gravy train's really been improved. Look how the guys go for it. It's a big improvement because Gaines just added a natural beef flavor. Improved gravy train even looks different. And dogs can taste the difference, wet or dry. Tests show they prefer its new beefy taste over old gravy train 3-to-1. It's fully nutritious, too. New gravy train, a big improvement in taste. Right, guys?
I missed my big chance last time. Angie, I'm not going to miss it again.
There it is.
That's the Athena 2000 electronic machine by Singer. It's $100 off. Push these buttons. It sews 25 stitches.
Beautiful.
Even measures buttons and makes buttonholes to fit in one step. If you missed your chance last time, the big Singer sale is back.
Hey, Debbie, if you was my mother, what would you think of your son now? Huh?
Oh.
Raise a Pepsi up and down it. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Have a Pepsi day.
The gestures you make will...
Are your teeth really their whitest, up close? Is your breath really its freshest, up close? They can be with new Close-Up, the toothpaste and mouthwash in one. Clear Red Close-Up has 2 whiteners that get teeth whiter than the toothpaste most people use, and a real mouthwash. So it not only gets your breath Close-Up fresh, it also gets your teeth Close-Up white. Close-Up is for close-ups.
This is Professor Goody speaking to you from a diving bell 400 feet beneath the ocean, where I'm about to prepare some delicious Aunt Jemima frozen waffles just for me, not for that pesky waffle whipper. Waffle, waffle, waffle. I take them from the freezer, pop them into the toaster, and light, crisp, golden brown with Aunt Jemima syrup on them. Aunt Jemima waffles for kids who like a square meal for breakfast. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Waffle, 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 waffle. Wallace, please, stop. All right, Wallace, won't you join me? Waffle, 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 waffle.
That's a waffle whipper whipping an Aunt Jemima waffle. They're in your grocer's freezer. Is there a waffle whipper at your house?
Waffle, waffle.
All over the world, the word for great coffee flavor is Nescafe.
We're the world's favorite brand of instant coffees.
In America, Nescafe's great flavor comes 2 ways.
We're the world's best-selling too.
Nescafe Regular in the red label.
If Nescafe can please the whole wide world.
And now Nescafe Decaffeinated in the green label.
We can sure please you.
Same kind of flavor. Nescafe Regular, Nescafe Decaffeinated. What's your pleasure?
When the family's all together, life's the best that it can be. Life's more fun when you're munching when you're munching Fritos. 'Cause Fritos goes with fun, and fun makes family memories. And old or young, life's more fun when you're munching Fritos. Munching Fritos. Life's more fun when you're munching when you're munching when you're munching Fritos. Life's more fun when you're munching when you're munching Fritos. Red corn chips.
Don't come near me.
Thursday, John Amos, Ernest Borgnine, and the cop of the future are set up by a girl on the edge. Then a new puppy brings Chrissy and Jack closer together.
Yeah, there's nothing a girl likes more than a little tickle on the tummy.
Three's Company after Future Cop and Barney Miller.
I'll give you $50 for those sneakers. $50. Okay?
You can have them. They're terrible.
It's to prove a point. Now, you wash in detergent alone, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's wash this sneaker in detergent alone and this one in the same detergent plus Clorox bleach. Now, see any cleaning difference?
And the one I wash with my detergent is just dirty. The one washed with Clorox looks so clean.
Clorox Clean. People can see the difference.
Hey, who woke me up? Oh, sorry, Cuckoo. It's this cold. I'm stuffy and my sinuses, Try 4-way long-acting nasal spray, Nose. It relieves stuffy noses and sinuses up to 10 hours to help you breathe easier so you can fall asleep easier. Hey, that's a blast. A blast that lasts all night. Thanks, Cuckoo. Your timing's right on the nose. 4-way long-acting nasal spray. The blast that lasts all night.
It's not too sweet. It's refreshing, crisp, and neat. Canada Dry Ginger Ale. It's not too sweet.
It's not too sweet. I repeat, it's not too sweet. Canada Dry cools your thirst. It's a taste that can't be beat.
It's not too sweet. It's a cold, refreshing treat. Canada Dry Ginger Ale. It's not too sweet.
Regular or diet, it's more refreshing because it's not too sweet.
When entering the world of art, you'd be smart to dress the part. Gentlemen prefer hands, with all the ladies draped in crepe. The artist loves the human shape. Gentlemen prefer hands. Hands will make you smooth and silky, shapely, sexy. Wear a pair and you could be captured for posterity. Gentlemen prefer hands.
I hereby dub you the Easter Bunny.
Wednesday, a special family presentation narrated by Fred Astaire.
The Easter Bunny is coming to town today.
Let's all have a happy Easter.
The Easter Bunny's coming to town.
We here at the ad agency feel this commercial is provocative, motivating, and really class-a-roo. Now, what do you think, sir?
Only one shoe? Florsheim makes over 256 different styles. Show them all, big, big. What about the craftsmanship? Even our laces are better.
Have lace shoes?
Why don't we show a huge centipede wearing all the Florsheim shoes?
I like that. That could be a musical. Shaboom, shaboom.
Hey, I like that.
I like that.
I come to show you why mannequin flavor plenty enjoyable. I need water. See, water make leaf stretch. Wrap cigar well. Mouth enjoy flavor. Yes? Mannequin flavor special.
Sheer enjoyment.
Nobody can connect you with more of this country than United Airlines. With low-cost vacations from Hawaii to the New York Islands, to the mountains, to the oceans, to the sunshine, and back again. That's why in the friendly skies we say, your land is our land.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
Danny, sounds like you've accidentally invented a thermochemical energy source.
A scientific wonder becomes a nightmare.
Someone's walking around with enough explosive to turn the city into a pancake.
A power that could mark the beginning of the end for the $6 million man.
How does your daughter feel about the wash? She couldn't care less.
Mrs. Shep just uses detergent alone. Let's see what happens when she adds Clorox bleach to one of her loads.
Which blouse would you rather wear?
This one. This one's much cleaner than this one. It's a good feeling to wear something clean.
Well, I said you wouldn't care. I mean, it's just so much whiter. It's very obvious. That's the Clorox one. There is a definite difference. From now on, we'll just have to use Clorox.
Clorox makes the difference.
I see now that she does care.
Look, Linda, I just bought a new seamless support bra that's so beautiful. I have to show you. Oh, better show you this way. It's the Playtex Support Can Be Beautiful bra, and it's seamless. Don't you love these pretty details? And these smooth, seamless cups. Plus, this secret support designed for real support. And you know, it's so pretty. It makes me feel pretty. The new seamless Support Can Be Beautiful bra from Playtex. Support can be beautiful.
The American Eagle. Goodyear's symbol for its all-American kind of radial tire. Goodyear is committed to product innovation. We introduced rayon cord in tires. We created the polyglass tire and the polysteel radial. And now the American Eagle with belts of Flex-10 cord instead of steel. Flex-10 is made from a flexible man-made aramid fiber that's pound for pound stronger than steel.
The tire for America, the American Eagle, the tire.
Pardon me, what kind of dog food does your dog eat?
Young fella, there's two things I know. Checkers and dogs. Dogs like canned dog food. Especially Herman here.
Do you think he'd like Gaines burgers?
Well, he might. Yeah, leave this to me. Dogs like food that's moist and meaty.
But Gaines burgers are moist and meaty, see?
Go ahead, but...
And they taste terrific.
And you don't know nothing about Checkers, neither.
Gaines burgers dog food. The canned dog food without the can.
I found a recipe you won't find in a cookbook, but it's sure nutritious and a real money saver, too. Take a quart of Carnation Instant Non-Fat Dry Milk. Add a quart of whole milk. Mix, chill, and serve. You get 2 quarts of fresh-tasting low-fat milk and make a real savings on your milk bill. Carnation Instant Milk. Good for you and your budget, too.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. Almond Joy's got real milk chocolate, coconut and munchy nuts too. Mounds got deep dark chocolate and chewy coconut. Ooh. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Peter Paul, Almond Joy's got nuts, Peter Paul, Mounds don't.
Plus, now there's also a new Mounds with creamy rich milk chocolate.
What you're about to see is the world's most revolutionary telephone switching invention. We call it Super Switcher. It has almost no moving parts, yet handles 4 times more calls than its predecessor. It required an investment of $400 million, but should ultimately save $1 billion a year. And soon, every major American area will have one. Looks dull, eh?
Well, imagine that each of these cars is a long-distance call. This new invention can handle over 500,000 an hour. That's 5 days' traffic on a busy Los Angeles freeway. Super Switcher. It should go a long distance to prevent traffic jams on your long-distance calls.
The Bell System. People using technology to help keep down costs and improve service. Keeping your phone system the best in the world.
It's the first show of the new year, and the Captain and Tennille do it right. With their guests Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., John Biner, Muhammad Ali, and Joe Namath. It's the new 1977 Captain and Tennille.
You are the apple of my eye, yeah. Forever you...
This is a cubic foot. There are 5 more of these inside the new Chevrolet than there are inside this year's older style full-size cars of Chevy's nearest sales competitor. That's based on U.S. government estimates of vehicle interior size as reported in the 1977 EPA Guide for New Car Buyers. The new Chevrolet with 5 more cubic feet of room. It stacks up beautifully. Now that's more like it.
Fellow Americans, stop dragging your feet. Wear kitties when you're going to go out on a date.
Look great.
But do you know your feet need a little love?
Kitty knows.
What an agonizing, enterprising, hard kind of day you spend working overtime. You.
It's ball.
You. You need shoes for it all. I say comfort and style if you're young at heart or young enough to remember. Come to Kitty and explore at the Great American, Great American, Great American Shoe Store.
What's behind the brand of hot dogs you buy? You know you're getting solid value with Oscar Mayer and quality trusted for generations. There's wholesome meat protein from solid cuts of meat. The only meat Oscar Mayer uses. U.S. government inspected. Oscar Mayer selected. Oscar Mayer wieners and beef franks in handy twin packs. The flavor's as good as the good meat itself. Oscar Mayer, America's #1.
When did you start baking from scratch?
It's not scratch, Mom. It's new Pillsbury Plus.
A yellow cake this firm could only be from scratch.
It's Pillsbury Plus.
A cake this moist could only be from scratch. A cake this rich could only be from scratch.
It's Pillsbury Plus. The plus is pudding. Pudding right in the mix to add that moistness.
Rich flavor. New Pillsbury Plus, huh? Looks like scratch has met its match.
Cut. Reload.
That's a complicated-looking machine, isn't it? Funny thing is, a lot of people still think that taking home movies is that complicated, too. If that were true, believe me, I wouldn't take them. For instance, he's reloading the film. Let me show you how easy Kodak has made it for you and me with a Kodak Instamatic movie camera. You finish one roll of film, drop another one in, you're all set. How are you doing, Charlie? Taking home movies couldn't be much easier than that, could it? You know, now is the time to start, too. When the kids are growing up, you're on your vacation, save the action and the color in movies. With Kodak projectors, movies are easy to show, too. And cameras start at less than $35. Actually, you know what Kodak does for you?
Try a taste of martini. The most beautiful drink in the world is the bright one, the right one. It's martini. Anytime, any place, anywhere. There's a wonderful world you can share in the bright taste of the right one. That's martini.
Gentlemen, ladies, welcome to General Foods. Today, we're proud to announce a breakthrough in coffee. We're introducing the perfect cup. At first, I'd like you all to taste this new product, and then I'd be happy to answer any questions. Yes.
It's rich. All right, how'd you do it?
We discovered a process that removes bitter taste. Ma'am.
What kind of process?
We found that roughness and bitter taste went out as we reduced the caffeine down to 50%.
50%? Explain why you went to 50.
Let me show you. Run the film, Mike.
Smoothness and richness take over when there's 50% less caffeine than regular coffee. The perfect cup.
As simple as it sounds, that's the breakthrough. And speaking of a breakthrough, let's have a coffee break.
Introducing the perfect cup. Once you taste this coffee, you'll have no questions.
Well, you really did it to yourself this time.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is.
Ah, those lovely bubbles. Bursting into action, instantly soothing your upset stomach and speeding relief to your aching head. Alka-Seltzer works fast.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Hello, young waffle lovers, wherever you are. Professor Goody here, high up in this bell tower. And just so that pesky waffle woofer won't follow me, I'm pulling all the ladders up behind me. There, safe at last. Now to pop a couple of delicious Aunt Jemima frozen waffles into my trusty toaster. So light, crisp, golden brown. Oh, I could hardly wait. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Waffle, 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 waffle. Sorry, Wallace. These Aunt Jemima waffles are just for me. Waffle, 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 waffle. Hey, now. Waffle. Wallace, please. Waffle, 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 waffle. Oh, very well, Wallace. Won't you join me? Waffle, waffle, waffle.
This is a waffle whiffer whiffing an Aunt Jemima waffle. You'll find them in your grocer's freezer. Is there a waffle whiffer at your house?
Waffle?
Cost of living got you down.
Prices are so high, I take a ladder to go shopping.
Cost of living got you down.
Money used to burn a hole in my pocket.
Now it isn't even there long enough to get warm.
There's one bargain left in town.
Campbell's Soups. Try chicken with rice. Best parts of the chicken, fluffy rice, and 2 chicken stocks for extra flavor. About 6 cents a 7-ounce serving.
Sit right down and get your Campbell's worth.
Birth defects strike over 250,000 infants a year in this country alone. What can we do about it? Plenty. You know, research has shown that some birth defects can be prevented by proper prenatal care, and that includes good nutrition.
Well, that's not bad, but 4 pounds in 2 weeks isn't terrific.
I'm Mark Hamill asking you to protect the unborn and the newborn.
Those dirty rings. You'd scrub them, soak them, even bleach them. And you can still come out with... Ring around the collar! Now, try whisk around the collar. Pour concentrated whisk right on the dirt. It sinks in, starts to clean before you start to wash. Whisk around the collar beats ring around the collar every time. Whisk.
Here's Lucy. Was brought to you by Whisk. Whisk around the collar beats ring around the collar.
Check, check, testing, 1, 2, 3, fuck it. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, everyone. How are we today? I'm here. I'm here. Oh, come on, Joey, really? A birthday present? You're killing me, brother. You're a sweetheart. I got through on Sunday morning and came home and was catapulted into severe depression. So thank you. Thank you very much, Joey. That'll really help pull me out of my muck. I'll just bet you're tired. You ass buster, you. Oh, jeez. There's a piece of plastic here. Can you see it? Piece of plastic. Yep. out to Natalie too. Cool. Cool. Yeah. A brown bag. Nice. Oh yeah, baby. A brown bag? Brown bag? Brown bag? Like a brown bag. Here's a brown bag. We used to get our dope in brown bags, man. It'd just be a brown paper bag like this, wrapped up with a rubber band. Everything else in the box is mine. Ooh. Everything else? Dude, you still shower me with gifts way more than my parents ever did. You make me feel worthy. Thank you. Thank you. You're gonna make me cry is what you're gonna do. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. I got to see one of my oldest and dearest friends. Actually, a couple of my oldest and dearest friends. My camping trip was not what I expected. Actually, it's exactly what I expected. It's just not what I expected it to be expecting. Right? Yeah. I had hoped more people would show up. So, I'm kind of disappointed in people, right? I am. I'm disappointed in people. People get wrapped up in such bullshit that they think is their lives, right? I mean, I had one friend who stopped by, who just came by and was able to hang out for just a couple of hours, right? A couple of beers, a couple of hours, and he was gone. And it was one of the most important meetings of the weekend. And I'm really pleased that he came by. And now I'm really all about those people now, right? Because they were there. They gave a shit and they showed up. There were people there, strangers, who showed up just to party on the lake for the weekend, and they turned out to be original locals who we chewed the same fucking dirt, you know. They were my age. They had been through the same shit. They all knew all of the people that were around me. It was really great. So there were more people than I expected, but it was only because they just happened to be there. No one got involved in my scavenger hunt except for me. So I was pretty disappointed that I set all that up, and it is what it is, you know. I don't know why, after hearing that somebody sabotaged it and canceled it on me, I don't even know why I bothered, really. The only reason I went down there was because of Gary and my best friend Chris. Once he said he was going, I was locked in. Otherwise, we might have gotten to the day before the event, and I might have just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna stay home and cry. I was actually moved to tears a couple of times over the weekend. Once when Chris left, and when I got home, and I was just exhausted and emotionally ripped off. Basically, I got ripped off. I had a bunch of people tell me they were coming. I mean, literally, yeah, we're gonna be there. We want shirts, yada yada yada, and then all of a sudden, it comes time. And the thing was that if anybody had really intended on coming, they would have tried to help. They would have tried to get more people. They would have set things up with me. They would have contacted me at some point. They would have returned my calls and returned my messages and letters and stuff. So I get it. I was explaining to my wife last night in bed how I'll never do this again. Ever. I'll never try to do something for my past people ever again. Ever again. I'm done trying to be nice. I'm done trying to be a cool dude, you know. Obviously I'm not. I'm nowhere near cooler than nowhere near as cool as anybody out there. So the fact that my friend Chris showed up only goes to show you that he's not on Facebook, right? He's the only one that's been paying attention to what's going on in my life, right? And he's just gotten involved. And he's already up to snuff. He already knows what's... Snuff, how appropriate. He already knows what's up. He can read between the fucking lines and see what the fuck is going on in my life without having to even ask, right? And I could tell by the way he gave me a hug, you know, that he knows what's going on. Everybody else is so wrapped up in their own weird little whatever lives that they just don't have time for anybody from the past. And I get it. I get it. And especially me. I mean, I'm just not... I just see myself as not being worthy enough for the main crowd, right? It's like I'm just one of those guys that, oh, look, it's that guy. Let's pretend that everything's nice and we like him like we've always done, and then we'll just turn around and run. So, everybody who was on Facebook, who got invited and roped into buying t-shirts to get this donation thing up and running. I mean, I never even made enough fucking money to pay for the few fucking t-shirts that I did have made. Barely enough, right? Let alone enough to do more. So the shirts were somewhat popular. So, but I gave away half as many shirts as I sold, right? I sold one shirt at the event, and I wound up giving the guy another shirt at the end to his wife, because, you know, what am I gonna fucking do with them? And they're gonna enjoy the shirts more than I am. I was really disappointed and not in the event. The event was fun. The event was great. The people who were there, we had fun. We got to hang out. But I'm really disappointed in the people who should have been there. They should have been there, and they weren't. They didn't even send an emissary. They didn't send a message. They didn't say, hey, you know, here's a short video. Hope you're having a great... Here, play this video when you're at... Nothing. Not a fucking thing. You know, had it been anyone else from the past, this thing would have been fucking off the hook, right? Anybody else. If I had gotten one other person as a co-administrator, a co-chairman, just any other fucking person, somebody popular, right? For sure, get the most unpopular guy from the past and get him to plan a fucking party. How stupid can I be, right? Pretty fucking stupid. So, it was... I planned for the least and the most, right? Of course, I got the least. I got as little as possible. At the event, I probably got, at one given time, maybe 5, 6 people together at once, with other people at their own camps, right? These strangers from the past, who are now new friends. I used to tell all of my friends on Facebook and in Messenger and stuff, hey, come on out and visit you. I'll hook you up, put you up in a place, you know, borrow one of the houses that we caretake for, you know. I'll jump through fucking hoops to make it happen for you if you'll come out. And it's like the sound of crickets in the audience, you know, when Daffy Duck is up there playing. And I felt like Daffy Duck. Mother? And so I made this same offer to the people who came. Gary and Ed and his family and Jessica, who was from my era, but I never really got to meet her because she was a year younger than me, or like 2 years younger than me. So she's my sister's age, right? So she was in that clique. A wonderful person. Her and her boyfriend, wonderful people. So, and the people who camped next to us who showed up the night that I did, and they were great people, Claudia and David, and they were from my past. Or, excuse me, Christina and David, and then Claudia showed up the next day behind them. And then more people, and everybody along the beach that were there for that weekend were locals and from our era. It was great. It was great. My people showed up and they're like, hey, we know you guys. So that was neat. There were a lot of fun things, but like I told my wife last night, I was literally wearing a mask the whole fucking weekend, and probably 2 weeks before that, now that I look back, you know. Oh, I'm so excited about the weekend, right? All of those comments that I made weeks and weeks ahead of time. And some of it was true, I guess. I was really excited in anticipation of something really good. But I'll tell you what, I was really, really let down by a lot of family and friends. And I'm never going to be able to get over that. It's like my last big hoorah, you know. And Chris knew that. Chris could look into my eyes and know what I was fucking talking about. You try to talk to anybody else and they look into your eyes and they see their own world and their own bullshit going on. Like, it's like when you're talking to somebody and all they can think about, well, you're pouring out your heart and soul to them and talking to them and trying to get your point across to them, and all they can think about in their own head is what they want to say next, and they can't even hold on to that long enough to let you finish, and they interrupt, right? That right there is the story of my life. I start talking, and then people just turn around and start having a conversation while I'm in the middle of my monologue, my story, my whatever it is I'm saying, you know. I get it. I'm just not that important. And knowing that it took family and friends to show me that, I'll take that to my fucking grave too. I don't like to be bitter, but my dog likes to lick me and he seems to like the taste of bitter, so I'll just stick with being bitter. I wore my teeth a lot over that weekend. Well, twice for long periods of time. And then I got home on Sunday night. I put them in again to eat and left them in for the rest of the evening. Last night, put them in again to eat and left them in for the rest of the evening and had dessert. Took them out before I went to sleep. So my plan is to wear them every day, longer and longer in the evening, till I'm wearing them all day. They still hurt. The dentures still hurt. They rub me raw in a few places. But I'm doing it. I started playing my guitar more. And I started singing. Yesterday I sat on the couch and I practiced a couple of songs. there's a few things there that my own music, and I did not write down the notes, and I don't know how to play it anymore, and I'm really disappointed. So now I'm going to have to go back and find a recording of that particular song so that I can figure out how to play the guitar again. That's kind of a bummer, but that's the kind of brain that I have, so I got to deal with that. But I thought, you know what? It's either I pick up the guitar and start playing, or I crawl into bed and I don't get out again. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let my family and friends who let me down punish me even more. Or I'm not going to let myself be punished for that anymore, you know. Yeah, I'm just really, really disappointed. I had invited my sister, even though she hates me, and we don't get along, and I just assumed that she would have shown up. Maybe she did. Maybe she showed up and drove by and looked around and said, "No, I'm out of here," right? There were a couple of friends who said that they were going to come by in a message that I had, you know, leading up to the weeks and days leading up to the event, who said that they were going to come by, and they didn't. And it not only disappointed me, it disappointed my friend Chris, who drove 7 hours to get down there, right? All the way down there. Because I said, look, I talked to these two people, and they said they were going to come and see you. So they let him down, too. So I'm done trying to invest any time and energy in getting in touch with people that obviously want nothing to do with me. Nothing at all. They claim to, but I know that's just that up in your face niceties that people say and people do. It's like, oh yeah, that's great, we're gonna get together, we're gonna have a good time. And they're like, oh right, let me change my fucking phone number, switch fucking blocks, switch accounts, do all kinds of shit, right? That's how I feel, you know. I honestly feel like I'm one of the nicest guys in the world, and people look at me and they must see something that they saw in the past that I never understood, right? Because whoever they think I am, I'm not. I'm me, and nobody wants to take the time to get to know me, right? And it just fucking destroys me inside, you know. Like how unworthy am I that nobody from my past, save a few people, want to even have anything to do with me, right? Are their politics so strong and different that it precludes them from having any kind of link to me or the past? I mean, there were people literally who were like, I'm never going to California, ever. Well, so you can't put aside that bullshit just to get together with some old friends that really, really, really want to see you? Nope. If they're going to be in California, then fuck them. They're fucking Californians. I don't want to fuck it. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know? I mean, there was a guy at the event who was just going on and on about stuff that had nothing to do with the event, right? It was like today politic crap. And it was like, at one point I had to get up and walk away and just say, people who think like that are fucking idiots. And just got up and walk away, or some shit like that. I had to make some random asshole comment just to let him know that I'm sick of fucking hearing that shit. Let's change the fucking subject, you know. And he got it. He got it. He understood. He backed off on that fucking shit. Backed off on thinking about himself and thought about the whole. And then he would just come over and interject a few things about what was going on, hang out, pipe load, and then he'd withdraw, you know. And he saw what it was about. He observed, he used his fucking eyes and his brain, and he figured it out, that it's okay to be there just keep that kind of shit to yourself, you know? And people who didn't show up are those kind of people, I guess, who can't. You know, I'm sure there are a few people who legitimately could not make it for personal or family reasons or whatever, and I understand that. But come on, there were over 800 fucking people invited, 200 people, over 200 people interested, and out of the 20-some people who said that they were coming, I didn't even get half of that, you know, and that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. I'm disappointed in people, you know. I really... Oh, is it this weekend? Keep up, people. Yeah, it's this weekend. I'm glad that it was so important that you marked it on your fucking calendar. People don't even have calendars anymore, right? It's like, oh, do a reminder. Oh, I gotta get rid of that reminder so that I can just forget it, you know. I'm gonna switch gears, really. I'm gonna switch gears in the morning. I'm gonna switch gears on YouTube. Gonna switch gears personally and socially, because the gear I am in is I'm in 6th fucking gear, right? And everybody's back here in 1st and 2nd gear. They just keep bumping around and bumping into each other and keep doing the same shit, keep fucking each other over the same way and keep thinking the same fucking bullshit, right? And I'm like, come on, people, get out of that bullshit and let's fucking go. Nope. People still wrapped up in the bullshit, you know? It's like, dude, I don't want to hear about your Fox News or MSN News or your ABC News. I don't want to hear about your politics or your fucking party. I don't want to hear what's going on in the country. I don't even want to hear what's going on at the fucking local goddamn town council. Unless it's fucking from 40 fucking years ago, I don't want to fucking hear about it. You're going to tell me about your kids and grandkids? That's great. I don't want to hear that they're fucking rallying to go out on a fucking march. Fuck that. You know, keep the shit to your fucking self. You know? My God. So I'm just gonna fucking change gears, you know? This used to be mostly devoted toward the past, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep doing the past, and I'm gonna keep doing me and my stories. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna try to get anybody from my past involved, right? Save a couple of people. At least not here, right? I may try to get 1 or 2 people involved in a few things, a few projects, a few small gathering type things, but nothing like nothing like what recently fucked me over, right? I made t-shirts, right? Designed them, put my own money into getting these things printed up, and there were a few gracious people out there. Yeah, go ahead. Let's help the retard. Pretty much, right? We'll pretend. And then when it comes to the date, we'll just say, oh man, we got shit going on. It's a family emergency, or whatever, you know. So be it. That's great. And I can imagine that, you know, maybe half of those people really had legitimate excuses. And I'm sure the other half were just, oh, I'm not going to that fucking thing. I was going to go, but then I found out it was that fucking shitheel, so I ain't going. Right? Which those are the kind of people that I didn't want there anyway. But it turns out that the people that I didn't want there turned out to fucking be everybody. Right? Which is really sad, because if that many people, right, let's say half of the people really had legitimate excuses, and that's being pretty nice. But then the other half, is it really exactly half of the fucking country right now that is so wrapped up in their fucking bullshit that they just can't? No way. Not there. Don't you watch the news? Okay. So, okay, whatever. If that's the way it is, that's the way it is. You know, if that's the way the world is going to be, I don't want any fucking part of it, right? So I won't be looking out for new subscribers. I won't be looking out to take this channel out there and build it up into the biggest, best thing in the world. I'm just going to keep doing my own fucking shit. People are on board, people are on board. If not, everybody else could just go fuck off, right? Because that's where I'm at right now, you know. I'm so bitter. I am just so... And most especially the people who were nearby who said that they were going to come and hang out for a little bit, right? Especially those people. Not the people who said that they were, you know, when I first started this over a year ago, oh yeah, that's the greatest thing in the world. We're all going to be there. I'm putting it on my calendar. I'm going to get my vacation days for that week. You know, I get it. They just said that because they wanted to say that on that was their Facebook fakery shit, right? Oh yeah, I'm going to do that, right? Because I want to be part of the in crowd. And as soon as most of the in crowd said, we're out, I want to be part of the out crowd, right? Because they want to go where they're the most popular, right? So, you know what? On those people, I didn't think they were going to fucking come anyway. I knew that most of the people who said, we're going to go, we're just going to... It's the people that I talked to most recently in texts and stuff and assured me that they were going to come. I'm really disappointed in those. I'm really disappointed in the people who I messaged and who never got back to me at all, never even acknowledged my message. And I could see their little icon drop down, so I know they read the message. But the fact that they could not even just acknowledge. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. And that makes me sad and angry and bitter. It takes my depression to all-time lows. And I literally, Sunday I got home, and after realizing how bitter I was and how depressed I was, I just sat there. I couldn't smoke any pot. I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't drink anything. I sat there for 4 hours on the couch like this. That was it. For 4 hours I sat there on the couch after I got back. And I was just reflecting on the whole weekend and everything and everyone involved and everyone uninvolved and everyone who refused to be involved, or especially those people who involved themselves just enough to make sure that it didn't happen, right? And I had to, you know, pull my shit together a couple of times sitting there. I just sat there alone. Every once in a while a dog would come up and sit with me. Sam would come in and he would just look at me. And he would sit next to me and I would start talking to him and he would look up backwards at me and just sit there and look at me while I was talking to him. Because he knows, Sam knows. Sam is probably my closest confidant when it comes to talking about stuff. Sam, my dog, he listens. He really listens. I could see it in his eyes. I talk to him. I say things. When I feel a certain emotion, he will literally look at me, and I can see it in his eyes that he understands. And he'll give me a lick. He actually gives hugs and kisses. He'll come. He will put his paws right here, and he will bury his head up under my beard and snuggle, and then just stay there. And then he'll give me kisses. And that's hugs and kisses from my dog. And I didn't teach him that. I encouraged that by giving it a name and saying it every time he did it, and then encourage it to get closer and closer, basically. So I can ask for hugs and kisses now, and he will come up and put his paws here and snuggle with me and just stay there and just let me hold on to him, you know. And I guess between that dog right there and microdosing mushrooms a couple of years back for a period of time, like 2.5 months, between those two, I was able to kind of pull myself together Sunday. So, but Monday, I knew on Sunday I wasn't going to be here Monday because I was pretty dead to the world. I didn't sleep for shit during the weekend camping. So I was exhausted, and I did not want to go to sleep at 11 o'clock at night and get up at 4 in the morning again, because I was getting up at, you know, all night long camping, and then finally I'd just start to get to sleep about 6:30, right? The sun's up and people are starting to walk around and make noise. I'm like, well, fuck it. So I had 2 nights like that where I'd get up and not have enough sleep. So by the time I got home, I was just wiped out emotionally, physically, mentally, socially. I was drained, completely fucking drained. I'm going to get back to the normal show with the album of the day and the movies and TVs and stuff. I'm going to work up a new schedule and try to come up with something that keeps me out of my funk, because I hate being there. One of the worst places I can be in is in the throes of depression. My wife and daughter both yesterday and the day before started to recognize what was going on. And last night in bed, I just unloaded to my wife and told her, you know, exactly what happened over the weekend and why I'm so shit-ass fucking depressed. So they get it. They went out last night and they pulled half the crap out of my van and put it away for me. Took care of the cooler and everything. But, you know, like I said, I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to invest all of me and stuff into people who don't want to have anything to do with me, right? I'd rather invest time and energy into doing... What I should have done is just done a YouTube event. I would not have had to leave my house. I could have done Facebook and YouTube right here, simulcast the whole fucking thing, and just done a party here with me, myself, and I, and have contests and giveaways and shit, and just do that here, which is probably what I'm going to do from now on, is just invest the time and energy into me and my own. And I hate to say this and seem selfish, but just like everybody else, fuck the world, you know, fuck everybody else. I'm just going to do me, right? I tried to do the let's get together and feel alright. No, nobody wanted to do that. No, I had a handful of people. And you know what? That handful of people, those people right there, they're my new group. You know, everyone else outside of that, anyone else outside the group of people that come to me, right, I'm done with. I'll go to those people. I'm not going to go out of my way, go to, or even think about people who, I mean, they know I'm here. They know what's going on, right? They don't even leave messages or texts or anything. Hey, peace, brother. You take care of yourself. I will talk to you soon. Thank you for the gifts. I look forward to getting them. You're one of my best friends. Thank you. Thank you. I know that other people are like, what does he mean he's my best friend? I don't even know the guy. But you're one of my best buds, and I appreciate it, man. So peace, man. I hope to see you again really, really soon. And I think it's coming. It's coming soon. Coming soon. I'm just going to heat up my coffee here. And then, no more and then, do another bong hit. Because I can. And what are you going to do? Stop me? You can't stop me. You got to come over here to stop me. And nobody got to come over here. So, there you go. Totally. Yeah, so our daughter has been studying psychology for the last few years, and is going to get a bachelor's in psychology, which is pretty cool. But it means that more and more she's understanding, being enlightened as to my life, my situation, my past, you know. Yeah, it sucks when nobody knows what's going on with you, and they're oblivious to what's going on in your head, and have no conception of what it feels like to be you, right? But then again, it's also heavy to think that people have knowledge and training that gives them an understanding that really has nothing to do with what's really going on in your head, right? They can have all of the book knowledge and all of the understanding that it takes to get an education or to have a profession, or, you know, all of that book learning stuff, right? That doesn't compare with what happens to an individual in their head. Now, it might for mass quantities of the population, right? These books may be for most of those people. But for a bunch of us, there's no book, right? There's no book to help with any of this, right? There's no literature at all that's going to help me understand what's going on in my head. Something that was written by somebody else, it might give me a little insight, but it's not gonna do it, right? It's not gonna, because it's not me, it's them. It's one guy writing a book using research from other people and their observations and theories, but that has nothing to do with me. Everybody needs to self-reflect, self-educate, you need to be your own fucking shrink, right? One of the many things we need to be taught in school at an early age is how to diagnose and treat our own mental and emotional maladies, right? And use that to help take care of others. But no. What do they teach us? ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. How to be a good person, how to vote. Not why to vote, not, but just be sure to vote. Be sure to do this. Be sure to do all of these. They get all this bullshit indoctrinated into us. And we get out there and we don't know why. We don't know. We're doing it. We don't know why. So that 2 generations later, we have to go to church and we got to be there every day, right? We got to go vote. We got to do. And when your kid asks you why, because I told you, because my parents made me do it, right? Yeah. I'm a Republican because my dad was a Republican. I'm a Democrat because we've been Democrats back to the Civil War. It's like, and how's that done for you? You know, how you doing with that? How you doing? Hey, yo. Yeah, there were a couple of guys who came out to the event that it was really good to see them again. And I'm hoping that because we're only a couple of hours away, that I might be able to get them out here and see them again and let them know that, hey, it's not bad out here. You know, you can come out and visit any time. It'll be great. I'd like to get, you know, some of my old friends or new friends out here once or twice a year. God, Lord knows my family's not going to come, right? It's like I'm just sick of dealing with passive-aggressive people, you know. People who smile in your face, and as soon as you turn around, they go, oh, and roll their eyes. I'm glad that's over, right? Because you can feel it. You can feel it before you turn around and walk away. You can feel them holding back that, and if you turn around quick enough, you'll catch it on their face. That kind of thing, right? I am really, really... I should have known. I should have known better. I really should have. From the beginning, several years, well, a few years back when I tried to do this, after my father passed away, I'm like, you know what? Other people are dying, and I'm like, we got to do something. And then I planned this event, and I got no response, and within a week I canceled it. And between that planned cancellation there and what just happened last week, we lost so many people, right? And you would think that the people left would think, wow, who are we going to lose next, and can we get together and do something, right? I told my daughter, I hope I spawned an annual thing, at least with the new people, right? I mean, to hell with the old people. Nobody, if they didn't give a shit about it the first 2 fucking times, why are they going to care now, right? Why would they care after I was dead? So, in fact, some of those people would more than likely, quite possibly, be more likely to do it if I were dead, right? Oh, he's dead? He's not going to be there? Well, yeah, we're there. Woohoo! We'll bring the whole family. It'll be great, and we'll talk about it. But we never wanted to go see him. Fuck that guy. I get it. Crazy old weird bearded guy, you know. Too crazy, too weird, too old, too bearded, what fucking ever. Too guyish, I don't know. There are a couple of people who legitimately wanted to be here, and I was so bummed that I couldn't figure out a way to get them there, right? I bet if I won the lottery, millions of dollars, right, and put $1 million into this party, I bet even if I did that, still only a handful of people would, even if I offered plane fare and rooms, I would still get only a handful of people. Everybody else, they would be from, you know, wherever, but they wouldn't be the people that I would want to be there. So I figured that out. I got it. I understand. My eyes are open. And unfortunately, my eyes are open now. So, my friend John, who showed up for a couple of hours, and I was so happy. He has so much shit going on in his life, right? And I could see it in his face, how just... he just needs a break, right? He just needs his life to have a better, you know, and I was just, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Right? And I'm really hoping that he and I can collaborate on something that will be something for both of us, right? Because I need something too. My life is lacking in substance. It's lacking in creativity and a link to the past. And I have a few links to the past. And he's one of them. And I really, really want to dust off the old guitar and pull out that lyricist in me, and I really want to put together another song. It took over a year, or almost a year, from the time I started writing Let's Go to the Movies to when it was over a year to when it was finished and in a video. And that's too long, right? But that's the way it is. So I think what I'm going to be doing with my friend is doing a collaboration through Messenger, through video conferencing. I think that's the best we're going to be able to do with each other for now. Yeah, but I really think that he and I could pull something off together. Honestly, I just wanted to leave something for everyone. I wanted to give something back, right? And the most important people who I wanted to give back to, they didn't want to be involved. So I'm going to find another way to give back. And if it's all I can do is give back here in the mornings, in song and story, then I'll do that, you know. Fuck it, I'll tell. If nobody wants to give together with me to help me tell the story, then I am forced to tell the story from my own point of view, and I never wanted to do that. I wanted to get stories from everyone and bring them together and collaborate those stories into one big story of our past, right? There's been no other book like that where, you know, here's the story. Here's a part of the story from this person and this person and this person. I go out and gather stories from people. And I've been trying to do this for 5 or 6 years. And I had hoped that by getting together with enough people, I could then get some more input for the book. And it just saddens me that so few people want to get involved, right? Do they look down on their past so much that they don't want to tell their story? Are they ashamed? Are they disgusted? They don't want to be reminded where they come from? I don't get it. They don't want me to tell the story? Oh, him? No, it'll be weird. It'll be this or it'll be that. You know, how does anybody else know? Nobody talks to me. Nobody reads my shit. Nobody looks at my videos. So why would I, you know, expect them to even want to get involved in telling their own story, right? I don't know. There's just some part of me, I guess, that just hopes. That just hopes. I guess I could hope in one hand and piss in the other, and I'll just have piss run through my fingers. Is there anyone there? Anyone? Anyone here? Well, I'm gonna die soon, knowing that most of the people from my past just don't give a shit. You know? I mean, with my family, it's like I might as well never have been born. In fact, it probably would have been better for everybody else had I not been born, right? Oh, listen to this guy feeling sorry for himself. I'll tell you what, trade places with me. Go through all of the bullshit, weird-ass fucking garbage that I've had to go through my entire life. Mainly the first 20 years. The first 10 years is just shits all over the second 10 years. But, you know, trade places with me, please. And you can see for yourself. Take my memories. Take all of the emotion and memories combined. And it's like if somebody were to get into my body right now and be inside and be me in this body right now, in an instant, they would first of all collapse to their knees. They would start crying, and they would ask to go to the hospital. Because if you take a frog and chuck him in a pot of boiling water, he's going to try to jump the fuck out. If you take that same frog and put it in a pot of cold water and slowly turn it up to boil, he'll stay in there and boil to death, right? So I'm boiling to death, and anybody else to jump into my body would be that frog trying to get the fuck out really quick. I would not wish this on anybody, not even my worst enemies, right? I would not wish them to be. I want to be like everybody else, where I just go through life going, right? I want to be like that, where you don't remember anything, you don't remember your past, you're easy to forget, people who fuck you over and die and shit and leave you. You know, you can stay in a job, you know, for 50 fucking years and do the same thing and just this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this. This is me. I'll pay my bills. I want to be one of those guys, right? I want to be one of those people that can go to work for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and never see their family and feel good about it. I want to be one of those guys that's got, you know, a $500,000 mortgaged house and 3 new car payments and 2 kids at university, staying in other states, right? That's what I want. People are envious of me because I can do my own thing. Step into me for just 1 fucking second and see if you don't run screaming, right? Because it ain't fucking pretty, and I ain't got long to go. So, you know, at least you'll have a chance to pay off some things and retire, and then maybe go out and do something, right? I gotta do it. I got no choice. I have to do it now. There's no other options for me. This is me. This is me getting me out while I got the fucking chance. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't fucking know. I don't know about the world. I don't know about me. I don't know about people. I gotta change. I gotta do something. I put all of myself for the last several months into doing this event. And what I should have done was just invite a couple of people out here and do it locally and not exert myself, right? I didn't eat for weeks. I didn't sleep for weeks. I went into severe depression every time I would send a message to somebody and not get any response. Right? My brother, weeks ago, called me out of the blue and just wanted to talk about what was going on in his life. And every time I tried to talk about what was going on in my life, he'd cut me off and give me his take on what was going on in my life. And I got frustrated and I got short with him, and I finally just said, all right, well, you know, adios. Because I was in a shitty fucking mood. Nobody ever wants to call and ask me how I'm doing, talk to me, find out what's no. No. They want to call and tell me what's going on in their life. I'd call my brother, you know, like every couple of weeks, like for months and years, right, trying to get, and I wouldn't get anything, you know, half drunken stupor, you know, talking about whatever else he wants to talk about, or just talking about nothing in general. I'm over that, you know. Get to know me. No, don't want to get to know you. I don't like you. Why would I want to get to know you? And that's what I feel. That's what I get. That's what I understand. You know. It would be nice to be able to get together with somebody and have a conversation, a two-way conversation, like I had over the weekend with people who we could sit down and talk, and somebody could speak and everybody would listen, and then the comments that were made would be to encourage the other person to speak more about what they were talking about. Not, you know, the conversations that I get with most people is I start talking, and then half through what I'm saying, people are like, well, I gotta go, or, well, let's start talking about this, or, well, let me go over in here and start doing this, and yeah, I'm listening, go ahead, keep, you know, let me look at my phone while you're talking, you know, that's usually what I get. But it was nice over the weekend to have people that were making eye contact and talking and engaging, you know, that was nice. And it's a shame that it had to be practical strangers and new acquaintances and people I haven't seen in forever, right? So I guess there's very few people like me or who like me in the world. Very few, right? And I guess we'll see in the near future any of those people who are going to take the initiative to call me, because I gave out my phone number, and say, hey, we were thinking about coming up soon. Is that still okay? Yeah. When? Where? When? How? What? You know? 6 a.m., 6 o'clock here on the Pacific West Coast. Bong hit number 2 of the morning. I don't know why. When I get depressed, or I'm in even more pain than I can manage, I seem to smoke less. I can't smoke as much. I get frustrated. Did he say frustrated? Yeah. I think this mixer gets too hot. I think I need to get a little fan table for it. One of those little devices that you put your little screen tablet or something on, and it's got a fan on it to blow air, to cool it off. Or make a little station for it. A little fan that goes into a little channel that feeds into little fins, right? That blow air into the sides of this thing, because it's only got side vents. It doesn't have any bottom vent or front vent or anything, and it should have more slotted openings, and it should have a little fan built inside to pull air in and push air out the other side. It really should. So if you're listening, ATEM, Black Magic, you need to add cooling fans to your devices. That's it. My friend and I, Chris, we got to drive around the lake. I did a photo, what do you call it, a scavenger hunt. I did an hour-long photo bomb around the lake. We did like half the lake. I took like 50 pictures. And then we got to the other end of town, and we were taking pictures and driving around, but we were looking for something to eat at that point. And so we didn't take as many pictures. And we finally wound up getting to like IHOP and having breakfast there. And then doing a few more things along the way. But it was less about pictures and more about just reliving those memories. So I am going to boot up some photos today. The rest of the photos that I took I'm going to upload. And I'm going to do my thank yous to everybody who was involved and showed up. And to those who didn't. You had your chance, you know. I'm sure that next year somebody will do this somewhere else and not invite me, but everybody else who was invited and said they were going to come is going to go to that one. And I already feel the knife turning in me. Because it's true. You know, people do these reunion things all the time, and everybody always goes and is real. Like there was a reunion in, well, it was in another state, right? And all of my friends went, including my brother. I wasn't even invited. I didn't find out about it until way afterwards, right? Oh, don't call him. He can't afford it. He can't do it. You know, whatever their reasons were, they assumed, or they decided, they made the decision to just uninvolve me. And that hurts, you know. That hurts that they can't get to know me now. They can't see me for anything other than however it is they see me from the past, right? However that was, it's that they can't get past that, right? And it hurts. I mean, it manifests itself inside me as an actual physical pain, much like the stabbing of a knife, right? That's what it feels like when I think about how little people care, right? How much I want to show I care and how much I want to give back and show how much I appreciate all that these people have done for me. And I'm not allowed to do that because they see me as something that I'm not. And I don't know what that is. I don't know how to take it. I don't know how to interpret it other than they don't want to have anything to do with me. And that just fucking hurts. So I like I told my wife last night, now I know how I rate. Now I know how I have nothing. I have nobody from my past. I got a handful of people. And I am really grateful for those. But it's the people who should be there. The people who should have my back. The people who should be calling me regularly that I've been reaching out to say, hey, brother, what's up? What's going on? You know, I saw you and you don't look so good. How you doing? Nothing like that. Nothing. Not even a hi, how are you? Hey, hi, howdy. Nothing. You know, I understand that people have lives and shit going on. Believe me, if anyone understands, it's fucking poverty, man, right? So I understand. And like I explained to my friend, because of that important reason, that's why we keep it on the down low, right? It's like, I don't want somebody to feel sorry for me because I have such a limited income. My outgo is even less limited because I keep it that way. I don't want to have to go out and, well, he doesn't have a big bank account and a big house and 8 cars, so I can't associate with somebody like that. I can't associate with somebody who looks like, right? That's the way I feel. Like, I don't rate well enough for them to be involved in my life, period. That's what I get. And that right there is another knife. That they have to be so wrapped up in status. Basically, that's it. That's it. You know, I am not of their class. Never have been, never will be, so they don't want to have anything to do with me. And you know what? It goes both ways, I guess. I guess it does. You know, as much as I hate to say that, people of, I guess if you want to say the upper echelon of society, the people who go out and have $500,000 mortgages, right? And 3 new cars in the garage, and have to work all the time and never see their family, come home to strangers, right? I'm supposed to envy this? I spend every single day, and most every single day, with my wife and daughter. We know each other. We have lives together. Lives here. Not, at some point next week we're going to get together when everybody's not busy, and we're going to do something. I promise. And then the promise is broken, right? We don't do that here. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your game. I was too busy at work. I couldn't get away. Fuck that. What, I'm supposed to be a fucking slave? No. I feel sorry for you, all right? You're out there, oh, poor guy. He don't have nothing, or the money. I feel sorry for you, people who are out there getting a divorce because you spent 30 years working your ass off to build a life for somebody you don't even fucking know, and you never had a chance to get to know because you're better acquainted with the people at work, and your kids are better acquainted with their friends and their friends' parents who are home, and their teachers, right? I'm supposed to envy that? I don't think so. And the people who can't put our different levels aside, right? You might as well just fucking crucify me, right? Because that's what friendship is. Oh, man, do I not need so many friends. I do not need so many friends that you can't fucking count on one of them, right? Fuck that. I'm, right at the end. It was only in the last couple of weeks that my best friend wanted to come. And he wanted to come, but he just couldn't get away, right? And then when he found out that, yes, it was indeed still going on, and the bullshit that he had heard from the naysayers and the doubting Thomases and the saboteurs, that it was just bullshit. And he went out of his way to get down here because he could hear it in my voice. He understood that this could very well, when we're sitting there and he looks out over the lake and says, yeah, this is probably the last time I'm going to see this place, and looks into my eyes. I knew what he was saying. He knew what I was feeling and what I was thinking, what I was saying. It's amazing that you can talk to family and friends that you've known for years, and most of them don't even get it. They're so wrapped up in their own shit that all they can think about is what they're going to say next, how they want to tell you about what's going on in their lives, and they don't really care what's going on in your life, right? And they can't even look at you enough to see that something's going on, right? And that's really sad, right? Because I go out of my way to care about people enough to go out of my way to care about them, right? And it's like people go out of their way to do as little as possible in the way of caring about anything, right? I would see more people on their fucking phones fucking scrolling and swiping and doing this shit than you would see out in the world fucking trying to help and do something positive. And that's horrible. What a horrible fucking world, Take me out now. I'll honestly, I'll be glad to leave the world. If this is the kind of world that's going on, take me the fuck out of here. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm sick of it, you know. Greed and selfishness and self-righteousness and people just sucking off the lives of others ungratefully, you know. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Fucking horrible shit. I don't know how I want to be involved in the world anymore. When I started this a couple of years ago, my whole intention was to get involved with the world and kind of bring the world up to date with the past, right? And I can see that the world wants nothing to do with that kind of past. They want nothing to do with courtesy and a strong family values and a moral compass that is a true direct north. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Everybody just wants to fuck each other over and get it on a video and then fucking sue the hell out of them for having fucked them over. So, you know what? The world can suck my dick. That's it, you know. There's like probably 0.002% of the world out there that I could deal with. And everybody else can just be your fucked up human self. Right? I don't even want to be human anymore. I want to move away up into the mountains and live with a pack of wild dogs. That's what I want to do. I want to become wild boy. I'm so fucking over it. I got to heat up my coffee and get a bong going again. So give me a few minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. You have a right. Knocking shit over like I care. Yeah, not one person who said that they were going to come came, except for Gary and Tiffany. I mean, not Tiffany. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Jessica. But not one person who said they were going to come not only didn't come, but they didn't even send a message, which that was pretty depressing, right? Nobody called. Nobody, oh God, this video time machine. I'm not going to do a video time machine this week. I'm just not. It'll be next week. It's too depressing. Denise, I'm sorry, not Jessica, Denise. Denise Harrison. I'm bad with names. I had to ask people multiple times, what was your name? What was your name? What was your name? La, 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 and then say it over and over and over, and then I'd still forget. It was pretty sad. It's just the way it is. Yeah. I really am disappointed with the technology that we have and the fact that it's so easy for people to get in touch with each other, right? That we didn't get one phone call during Saturday. We didn't get one video chat. We didn't get any videos. Hey, I just wanted to send this quick video. Hi, everybody. Sorry I couldn't be there. Yeah, blah, 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 right? Not it, and nobody thought of something like that. Not one person. You know, I think I got a message from somebody who said, "Hey, it's Sunday, right? Hey, is anything going on today?" You're a day late and a dollar short, bud. Had I been in a good mood, I might have said, "No, but take some photos and send me your address and I'll send you something," right? By then I was so fucking depressed. Is something going on today? Yeah, I'm going to go home, crawl into bed, and cry for about 3 weeks. That's what's going on. Not even my family. You know, my brother, who swore that he really, really wanted to be there and was bummed out he couldn't be, and yet he could have video chatted. "Hey, bro, what's going on? Anybody there? What's up?" Nothing. You know, I had somebody send a message, "Hey, post some more pictures of the event." It's like, no, I'm done. You know, I posted pictures, I did stuff. You know, if you wanted pictures, why don't you fucking show up and take some goddamn pictures? You know, I get it. You got stuff. Well, I got stuff going on too. You know. My life is more important than a bunch of people who just want to pretend to be involved. So there you go. You know what? Get in touch with somebody else who was there and see if they took pictures. Do that. Because me, I may post a few more things, but that's it. And I'll do it because I want to fucking do it. Not because somebody wants to claim that they give a shit. I'm just so fucking bitter and burned out right now, right? It was all I can do to stay in a good mood. I just stayed happy and positive leading up to the event, all through the event. I'm dead dog tired, covered in sweat, dirt, filthy, having to set up the camp all by myself and to tent and everything, right? Did everything myself. And I still stayed upbeat, positive. Backache, just fucking racked in fucking pain. My stomach's in knots. I can't eat. Can't fucking do anything. Can't function. Barely fucking get high to deal with the pain. You know. And I kept it together. The whole event was happy and smiles, and all the way up until I'm driving out of town and my van starts fucking screwing up and stalling and blah, blah, right in the middle of a fucking intersection, and I'm just screaming, puking, spitting fucking blood, you know, and then get home and then just right into depression. So thanks to my close family and friends for leaving me high and dry. I appreciate it. With not even so much as a hi, how are ya, have a great event. I may have gotten 1 or 2 messages like that, but they were eclipsed by the whole. So I apologize to you people who did actually respond and say something, but you didn't show up either, so I'm just, you know, I mean, I offered up so much of myself and got so little back, you know, and what I wanted back was the chance to offer up more of myself and to give more, you know. And I got totally shot down and shut down and shut off. I really wish Joey could have come and been here, but he's coming in September, so he couldn't do 2. But had he shown up, it would have been 200% improvement, right? I mean, my friend Chris showing up was a 200% improvement. Had he shown up, Joey, it would have been a 400%. With the 100% that was already there, I wouldn't be as depressed as I am now, you know. Knowing that Joey is coming in September helps, really, really helps keep me out of that depression. Knowing Joey really keeps me young. And then he says that he's sending me a birthday present. That's more than I get from my own flesh and blood. Household excluded. Joey's the best friend I've ever had in adulthood. But when you look back and you think about all of those best friends that you had back then, and they're still alive, they're just not around, right? For whatever reason, they've just extracted themselves from your life. You know, that's one of those kickers right there. That out of all of the people from my past, it's the ones I didn't expect to be there that are there. And somebody from my most recent present is turning out to be my most best friend, you know. Where you talk about your friends from the past and how this person or that person is like your best friend, and then you try to look at that statement from their point of view, and they're looking over here saying, yeah, that's my best friend, and they're looking, oh, you, yeah, right, yeah, this is my best friend from high school, right, and that's the way they see it, and you're like, this is my best friend in the world, and they're looking at you like, yeah, that's my schoolhood chum, and that's a hell of a thing to wake up to. So I get that. I get that when I went to my best friend's wedding and realized that I wasn't his best friend any longer. And that hurt. And that I was not best man. I was like fourth best man. Third or fourth best man in there after a bunch of other people. You know, of course, including his best friend and his brother and whatnot. So it's hard to come to terms with the fact that you're just not important. You're not as important as the people who are important. You're not as important as you are to the people who you find most important in your life. Is that right? Where's so-and-so? They couldn't make it. Health issues. Well, where's so-and-so? They wanted to come, but something came up. Well, where's so-and-so? Their politics preclude them from being here. Well, what about so-and-so? Well, they don't like the state because of the state's people or their politics. So it's like, yeah, I wish I could say, well, where's so-and-so? Well, they're dead. The other people are still around, and they're right there down the street, but they're not going to come. For whatever reason, they're not going to come. For whatever reason. I'm not going to come if that person's... Well, that person's never going to come, and they weren't invited, and they're not coming, so... Yeah, but... Alright, whatever. Yeah, I learned a big lesson over the weekend. You can never go home again. And if you do, you better expect there to be new tenants and a complete detachment from that past reality. It don't exist no more. Those people that you knew, those times that you had, all that's gone, right? It's all gone. You can think about it, but they're not going to think about it. Why? Because they don't remember it. They've been through childbirths and, you know, hot fevers and bone breakages and deaths in the family and stuff. So by the time you get there and you want to talk about the past, their past is something completely different. It has nothing to do with you. I get it. I understand it. But the fact that people can just walk away and just claim that it's just not important. Or not even claim it, right? Because most people aren't that honest with themselves. So they just put it out of their heads. Oh, I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about that person or that thing or event or whatever. You know? And I get it. But not one person, not even people who were invited or people who said that they were interested, not one of those people sent a message. Tell everybody I said hi. Play this video. I'd have brought out the TV, right? And I would have set that video to YouTube and done all kinds of stuff just so that I could, Hiram. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait. I can't wait too long. This event was my big chance to see a lot of people. So I couldn't wait. I can't wait. I don't have the time to not do what I'm doing. I was talking to John Guardiano, and I told him this is it. I mean, this is the last chance I got. If this happens again, it's going to be somebody else putting it on. Because I haven't gotten a message yet. I don't have the strength in me to do this again. I don't have the emotional capacity to try to carry something like this out. The fact that so many people who claimed to want to be involved were uninvolved, that was just sent me to my all-time low. The most important people in my life who, that I counted on. I didn't even rate a phone call during the event, right? Somebody should have sent a video. Hey, play this video. We couldn't be there, but we wanted to. Here we are, yada, yada, yada. And that was so sad that somebody couldn't have the forethought to want to do something like that. The fact that I sent t-shirts out to people and gave them an order form to help collect more donations or to get other people involved, and nobody did that. I mean, it's just really, really, really sad. And I feel sorry for all of the people who, not just the people who weren't there because of their politics, right? But all of those people who claimed to be interested and want to be involved, and then did as little as possible to be involved. Did anybody win the prize for the neighborhood? Yeah, I did. I'm the only one that took fucking pictures. Me. I took 49. I took about 70 pictures. By then, Chris and I were hungry, and I was just burned out. I gave shit away, basically, because nobody was involved. The most people that were there, well, everybody that were there were locals except for Chris. Everybody else, everybody was just local people, right? Mostly people who weren't invited, were just there in the area. Yeah, Gary was my biggest support during all of this. If it wasn't for Gary, I probably wouldn't have gone down there at all. I would have just had Chris come here. Seriously. I was so, I'm still, If I were a dog, I'd be a melancholy. Yeah, I got those photos. I posted them. Somebody asked me to post more photos of the event, and I'm like, yeah, I did. I posted stuff. Ask somebody else at this point, because I got nothing. I'm going to post a handful more photos and kind of give thanks to, you know, the people who showed up and stuff. But at this point, I'm probably going to put all of this behind me and never think about it again, lest I carry a grudge. You know, I don't want to go to my grave thinking ill thoughts about people, so I'm just going to put it all behind me and try to move on. I was talking to Chris and Gary and stuff, and John, and I think my next move is going to be to switch it up, right, and be more about me. And I think I'm going to write, and because I can't really get any help or input from anybody about the past, I'm going to do it myself. So I'm going to start writing, and I'm going to write about the past. And now I have to just write about it from my own point of view, which is really going to be jaded, which sucks because I didn't want it to be that. So I'm kind of bummed about that. I'm going to keep my morning show going. I'm going to keep it with the with my themed formats every day. I don't know how much more video-wise I'm going to be putting into this channel, you know, education films and old-time radio shows and stuff. I'm at a crossroads right now, and I don't know exactly what direction I'm going to take. I know that because I get so little involvement from the most important people in my life, that I'm probably just going to withdraw back in and just do me. You know, just do me. And, you know, like I said before, fuck the world, fuck everybody else, you know, because I just can't, you know. I cannot afford time, and I can't afford emotion. I can't afford to let other people's lack of care, lack of, you know, involvement stifle my creativity anymore. I wanted so badly for this to be a catalyst to get people involved in recording the past, our history, right? And people are just so wrapped up in the present, they can't even see the past. They can't even see the past. I mean, it's bad enough that most of the people I know can't even remember most of the shit that went on, right? For whatever reasons. But so few people, right? I can't carry the fucking load for everybody, you know? I carried the load for over a year trying to get this off the ground. As much as I tried and tried and tried to get people involved, right? I figure, okay, I'm going to tell 12 people and tell those 12 people to tell 10 people. And even if they only tell half that many, and they do the same, we'll be off and running. Oh, I understand. You're one of those people who I actually understand and who actually let me know why and how and when and all that, right? I'm talking about the people out there who said they were coming, and then I heard nothing. That's what hurts. I heard nothing from the most important people in my life. If I hadn't gone out and tried to contact one of those important people, they probably wouldn't have contacted me at that point. And I wouldn't have found out that somebody went behind my back and canceled it. Shortly after I started it, it was canceled. Right? By some fucking asshole. Oh, we're not going, so nobody else go. Right? Whatever. Yeah, it totally sucks. It totally sucks that, you know, out of all the family and friends who I would have expected to go out of their way to be involved, even if it was just being involved from home. Hey, let's get rally some support. Let's get some shirts sold. Let's contact. I know somebody down there who can go. I know this. I know that. Nothing. Nobody. It was like literally the sound of crickets in the audience, and I was Daffy Duck with this fucking bill blowing around to the backside. Mother. That's how I felt. And every time I think about all of the people who said they were going to be there and didn't even call, it's another fucking knife in me, you know. And I'm done. I'm never going to try something like this again. I'm never going to try to go out of my way to do anything for someone from my past who I don't know is worthy of my help or my involvement, period. You know, and that sucks. That makes me even more jaded and bitter. And I don't want to be like, I don't want to take that shit to my fucking grave, you know? Fucking. So, in order to not in order to not let other people make me feel like shit, I literally have to exorcise those people out of my fucking life. Because they want to remain so uninvolved in my life that the most I can get from them, the very most I can get from them by way of involvement in my life is a comment somewhere in a post, and that's it. A comment. So I'm not even going to respond to comments anymore from people who are so uninvolved in my life that that's the most I get, right? If the people who call me, the people who message me, the people who have more to say to me than nice video, nice job, no, I don't need that, right? I just don't. I'll just give them a wave and go, you know, because that's the most they want to do. So, you know, if you want to be involved, get involved. If you don't worry about it. I ain't losing any fucking sleep over you. I got lots more to lose sleep over. And I so wish that Hiram, you could have been there, because, you know, you would have gotten it. You would have I'm sure you understand what's going on, because you're one of those people that I have been in constant contact with, who wanted to come, who tried to, you know. Yeah, it sucks. I was going to go live from the event, and then I thought, what the fuck is the point? Nobody's going to watch, you know. Did you take any videos and pictures? Post them. Right, you too. Yeah, exactly. I just, you know, I really wish you could have been there. And I hope that I'm around long enough to see you at some point, you know. But at this point, I'm going to stop doing stuff like that and stop caring about people from the past, because I don't want to change what I already remember from the past. And the more I try to involve myself with people from the past in the now, the more I am understanding that they're not those people, and all they're doing is crushing my memory. Is crushing. So one of the things that I tell people when they're making comments is to, whatever you're talking about in your comment, make a reference to what you're commenting, what you were waiting for, me too, those kind of things, because I can only remember back 45 seconds to what I was talking about, because your comments are that old. I have a pretty vivid memory, and I know that if I got together with people who had the same memory, we could dial in a perfect picture of what happened in a specific event, right? So I have a great long-term memory. My short-term is shot. I don't remember what I did yesterday. 40 years ago, 35 years ago, I remember vividly. So my whole point was to try to get together people who could remember things and their points of view, so we could get clear pictures of certain events, right? Yep, see, there you go. So be sure to make reference in your comments to what it is you're commenting to. Yep, I feel the same way about the past, and or just yep, and I'm going, yep, okay. Joey knows that. Joey always hits me with a yeah out of the blue just to mess with me. But, alright, here's my bong hit. I'm going to do my bong hit because it's the third one of the morning here. And usually I'm about 8 or 10 bong hits in right now. But I'm just too depressed and too frazzled, too pissed off. See, I knew why Guy wasn't, or Hiram, I knew why you weren't coming. I knew the whole story behind the fact that you wanted to come, this, that, and the other. It's those people who swore up and down that they were going to be there. And then I didn't hear anything from them, and have still not heard anything from them. And they should have sent some kind of message, right? And I don't even rate that with the populace. The majority of the people I know don't even respect me enough to fucking say, hey, sorry. I said I was going to be there. I wanted to be there, but something happened, right? Hiram and literally a half dozen other people out of the over 800 people that were invited, over 200 people that were interested, and over 20 or so people who said that they were going to come, right? A handful. I didn't get a phone call from a relative. I didn't get a phone call from anybody special in my life at the event saying, hey, sup, pass me around. With all the technology that we have, with all the communication skills, social media, with everything that we have at our fingertips, the most people could do is throw their thumb up on one of my posts. That's it. So what do I do? Where do I go from here? How does this change what it is I'm doing? Well, it sure in the hell wakes me up to the fact that I'm alone in this. I thought that Elsinore Brothers meant that. When I called my studio Elsinore Brothers Studio, I thought it was just that. And you know what? I'm not going to change the name because I do have a handful of Elsinore Brothers and sisters, and if you take that hand and you close it, it becomes a fist, right? I was just watching a movie yesterday. Gangs of New York, the 5 fingers, this street and that street. You take the fingers and you close them, it becomes a fist. Daniel Day-Lewis. Great movie. I can't wait till next week when I get back to talking about the past on my level, right? That'll be nice. And I can put all of this reunion bullshit behind me. I am going to try to get a screen print station and take some classes on how to screen print, and I am going to design some shirts. And I am going to use graphics, old graphics from the past, from yearbooks, and other recreated graphics. And I'm just going to do my own shirts. Now I'm going to only print out shirts that are ordered. Only buy packs of shirts to use when people order those sizes. So somebody orders 1 large, so I'll buy 5 large shirts in a pack of 5, and then print out 1 shirt, send it to them, and have 4 shirts left over in large for something else, right? And I think I'm going to do that. I don't know where, I don't know how, right? A 1 print station is like a, it's going to take up about as much area as a treadmill or a weight bench or something. It's going to be about that much room. So if I can get one that folds up against the wall, that I can pull out, fold down, it has its platform and it's got its screen to come down, you know, that's all I need. So if I can get something like that, then I will be putting out more vintage shirts, because I really enjoyed creating those graphics, and I was so disappointed when I didn't get enough response from the first 2. I was sad. I felt stupid. I felt like I had made the wrong decision on what shirts to start with. I just felt dumb. I felt stupid. Why did I do this? Why did I try to do this? Why do I ever try to do anything, you know? And I kept trying really hard to keep me out of that, oh, poor me, woe is me kind of thing. And as much as I tried, I just kept getting smacked backward. And for months, I would just be up and then down, and then up and then down, and then up and then down, and then down. And then I got to the point to where I was mustering up so much positivity and energy and happiness about this that I was faking everybody out. And you like them. You like them who? Come on. Come on, Hiram. You gotta let me know what you're commenting on so that I can keep up. Make a swap meet one. Oh, the t-shirts. Okay, here we go. So now I know you're talking about the t-shirts, so don't. But remember, you have to comment and let me know what you're commenting on, because my brain, I've already moved on and forgot what I was talking about 30, 40 seconds ago. So it really helps me if you, if you let me know what you're doing. I do. I have a Peddler's Village shirt design. Let me find it. I will. In fact, since you're here, let me show you a bunch of the graphics that I have. Where is it? Reunion graphics. I hope I have enough on this. It looks like I might. Shirts. Okay, so here is the label, of course, that I created to go inside the shirt as the tag. We took the tags out of the shirt and put in this label. So let me go ahead and show you this label. And I can switch to here and do that. Hey, check that out. Hey, Joey, you're back. Didn't you go to sleep, Joey? Were you listening? Were you watching? Pretending not to be there? So there's the graphic that I made for that. And let me get out of here and go back. And so let me see. Let me do Peddler's Village. Here is... Come on. There we go. Okay, here's the Peddler's Village graphic. Your package is at the post office. Happy birthday or whatever. I'll take both. Happy birthday and whatever. Thank you so much, Joey. You're my best buddy. I love you. Peace. Have a good night's sleep today. And let's get together at some point and talk. And hang out. I know you're going to be here in a month, but I love talking to you, brother. Peace. Have a great night. So here we go. Hiram. Here is the Here we go. And there it is. There's Peddler's Village. Lake Elsinore, 1979. I did 1979 because that was one of the years that I was there selling stuff. And I like the 1979. So, Peddler's Village. And what I could do is probably have a graphic that replaces the 1979 with whatever year. If I could find enough history on Peddler's Village, I would probably do you know, from this year to this year and have its life, right? One thing, I'm going to change this graphic actually. I'm going to make this say Peddler's Village Swap Meet, by the way. So there you go. Let's see. Here's a graphic here. Yeah. So let me find, hey, you're still there. That's cool. Alright, we already have that one. That one's Catfish Corner. So we got two. We got, oh, here's one. And I believe this is the one that I was going to go to, that I was going to do for this particular one. And let me go ahead and bring that up. And there we go. What do you think about that one? You had technical difficulties, dude. Boy, do I know technical difficulties. I've been doing this for a couple of years. I've done like over 350 episodes of live shit, 400 episodes. So I know about TDs, man. I get the TDs all the time. What do you think about that one? Is that one beautiful or what? So there's a couple of versions of this one. Which one do you like better? I like this one better. I like the plain one better. That one's really cool. Yeah, totally. Totally Spaceland Arcade. So I really like that one. Let me go here. I have to see all the behind the scenes crap. Let's see. Ooh, here's another good one. I really dig this one. This is one of my favorites. Okay. All right. I know, Guy. I know you're gonna love this. Or Hiram. I'm sorry. We used to call you Guy, so that every once in a while I go back to that. Do you like the first one too? Okay. Me too. Me too. Either location, right? But what I might do is have one that says Lake Elsinore, California, and then one that says Lakeland Village, California, because that'd be cool. Then only certain people know, right? So, okay, I know you're going to love this one. This is a place that we all know well. So check this out. What do you think? Cool. I'll call you Guy then. Sweet. Cheers, Guy. I'm going to do a bong hit. Yep, this one here, I love this one. So I'm going to, this one I'm going to have professionally done because it's too right on, right? So this one I'm going to have professionally done so that it will look right, and it just looks so nice on black, right, or dark burgundy, right? It's just gonna look fucking sweet. So that one's gonna be a fun one to recreate. I'm really happy you're here because I need this. I really do. That's sweet of you to be here, man. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is another cool one. It's totally cute. Totally cute. All right, here we go. This is a great one. Huh? 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 Let me zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's pretty much exactly the ad right there on their shirt. Right? We went by there to, it's called 2J, J&J Market or something now. So it's a little different. But it's the same building, same contents. It's just the same place. Yeah, pretty cool. Alright. Oh yeah, baby. So I'm going to show you this in stages here. So you can see this one is, yeah, 4 corners, baby. Totally, eh? Totally. So this one here. Alright. So here is a shirt that on another computer, it's almost finished. But on this computer, it is only saved in a couple of stages here. So I took this t-shirt that I found an ad for in, I don't know if it was in a magazine or somewhere, but I found this ad for this t-shirt. And so what I did was I took it and I recreated it. I couldn't copy it and do it, so I had to recreate it. So here's the 1980 flood part that I recreated. See? 1980 flood. I had to find the right graphics and the right font and all that stuff. So I created this, and then here it is scanned and leveled so that I could use this as a template to create the new shirt. And then on my other computer, I believe is where I actually have the finished product. So there's that. And that was a neat one. Let's see. Okay. Now, if you've watched the channel at all, watched my show, then you'll know that I was a Cub Scout in the 1976 Bicentennial 4th of July parade in downtown Lake Elsinore. So I created this graphic for that t-shirt, and this one means a lot to me because I was there. So here is this one, and I really love this one. What do you think about that? America's Bicentennial Parade, downtown Lake Elsinore, Sunday, July 4th, 1976, of course. Don't have to put the year. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So that's my little thing there. Yeah. That. Totally, eh? Totally, eh? It's totally cool, you hoser. Take off, eh? Let's see, and I've got a couple more here, so let me do that. And then I've got a list somewhere. I've got this list of shirt ideas that just goes on forever. One of the shirt ideas is the Alamo Market and the Ortega Oaks Market, right? So there's 2 market shirts, and then the Lookout, the Roadhouse Lookout. And what I'm going to do for the Roadhouse Lookout is I'm going to have these professionally made, And I'm just going to get this graphic copied onto a t-shirt. That's all. I'm just going to take this graphic and put it on a t-shirt. That's it. This one right here. And this right here is the front graphic on their menu. Aha, aha, aha. Good question. Guy asked, is the dam still painted by Corona? Well, I have only one way to answer that. And the answer is yes. This is a recent photo. It has been repainted. And yes, they repainted it exactly the same way. And it brought tears. It still makes me a little watery, but it brought tears to my eyes to drive by this and look over my shoulder and see that. And see it so bright and shiny and new, right? Just amazing. Yeah, it's doing it to me again. You know, I'm really emotional about, I guess, everything that's happened recently. But yeah, when I look back at stuff, that still rings true today, right? Where people are actually thinking about the past as much as I am. It's really awesome sauce. So yes, dude, it is still there, and it's as awesome as ever. I think the same people who originally painted it got together and did it again, because it was done by high school students back in '76. So there's a couple of them that are still alive and still have the original paperwork and design on how to lay it out and paint it. And they did, and they went, because it had been changed over the years. It had been graffitied, and people had turned it into other things, you know, and it was just gone. It wasn't the same anymore. And just a couple of years ago, they brought it back. And it you know, it really makes, it's like Nessie, right? Elsinore, Elsie, well, our Loch Ness monster, Elsie in Elsinore, and they brought her back, right? She had fallen to destruction. It would be like bringing back Paradise Pier or the paddle wheel boat, the Elsinore. That would really mean a lot to know that people care, right? And that's pretty awesome to look over my shoulder driving through and still see that. One thing, when we drove through downtown and we saw the wreck and we saw the old Ambassador, I think it's what it was, the Ambassador Hotel there. One of the things that we saw that was really nice to see still standing, it's for sale and somebody might buy it and destroy it, but it's still there now. And it was the chimes. And I was driving around with Chris and he's like, wow, what was that place? And I'm like, dude, that was the original bathhouses. They built that over one of the original hot mud springs, mineral water springs right there, right? Way back when the geothermal layer was a lot higher, right? And it's still boarded up. It's still waiting. Hopefully it won't fall too badly into disrepair before somebody does buy it and bring it back, because it is a piece of history. And they're working in downtown right now, trying to bring back some of the old charm to the place, right? Here, okay, so here's a picture of a famous roof. Earlier you mentioned a party house. Well, here is that party house, and here is the roof as it looked back in 1982, looking out toward the lake, and you can just see parts of the lake down here, right? And this street here is Zeller Street, and right here there's a tree. You can just see this tree on the corner. That's the tree we used to hang out at Andy's house here, waiting for his parents to leave so we could go party. There's now a metal roof on this house. So it's a complete metal roof on both stories here and the garage. It's fenced in. This house is still there. In fact, let me go ahead and dig up a current. I don't have a current. Yes, I do. It's in the photo dump that I did the other day, right? And you know what? If I can get there quick, I'll get there, and if not, then not. 45 photos. Actually, I might be able to get there. I'm just going to click back through a bunch of these photos real quick and try to get to the beginning, because it seems to have me here at the end. Here we go. Oh, so here is a Zeller. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Zeller with a Z. I don't have my teeth in, so I sound funny. Okay, so here from my computer on Facebook is, let's go back a couple, and let's go back even more. Adelpha. I don't know why they're all out of sequence. Wow, they are totally out. Perrette Park. Circle K. There we go. One of the Spaceland Arcade locations. Oh, look at this. This is Rayleigh and Walls. I wonder where this place is. I'll go ahead and leave this here for a second while I do a bong hit on the occasion. I wonder where this could be. It sounds familiar. Doesn't it sound familiar? It sounds kind of familiar. Yeah. I try not to take pictures of too many people's houses while they were around, because they're like, what are you doing? Oh, Rayleigh and Walls here. This is near Circle K and Old Spaceland Arcade, and yep, you got it, brother. Look at that fog over the mountain. Is that beautiful? It was such a beautiful day when we were not driving around doing this. Cheers. And moving right along. This was the old church where Chris used to go to school. Rome Hill. American Legion. Pepper Tree. That's used to be the Beachcomber down at the end of Stoneman Wash, near Rome Hill. There's old Billiards, Corridon and Grand Avenue. Oh, let's go this way. It's an empty field that used to house something. There used to be something there. DeJong's Dairy. Dun, 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 dun. Me and a Pig, and my favorite drink from DeJong's Dairy, chocolate milk. Yay. The casino, the old casino, and the new casino. There's Chris. Chris has got some great tattoos. Noggles, now Del Taco. something different now, right? McDonald's. That's the original McDonald's from 1982 or something, 80, 81, 82. Been there forever. There's the old the old feed store there in across from the Alamo. And there's the old Circle K in Old Town. There's the old Alamo Market. There's the museum, and it wasn't open, so we didn't get to go in. There's the wreck. And there's the front of the wreck. There is the old train station. There's the chimes today, all boarded up. There's the theater. This looks like, oh, I don't know, one of those buildings over by the cop shop. What market was this? Lake. That's the Circle K across from the junior high. All boarded up. Belch. There's the junior high. Looking good. One old building remaining. There's the A-frame. This is Cheney and Pottery and that other street that's kind of a little triangle. And one of my things on the scavenger hunt was to sit in this triangle and get a selfie. So there's Chris in the car waiting for me. Hurry up, I'm hungry. There you go. O'Hara's. Like Elsinore Market. I don't oh, that's Ortega Oaks Market. Right? There's the lookout. We actually went up to the lookout, and it was foggy, and we couldn't see anything. There's El Carrizo Campground up there, just beyond the lookout. There's the Academy. There is Cranes Resort, still there. This is the parking lot. This is a dirt lot where M&M Liquor used to be. This store popped up over here, so M&M Liquor died. A slow, horrible death. That lot used to be Granada 2 restaurant on Grand. There's the Delphi Street sign. And that is the actual Adelphi Street. That is the Zeller House. That right there is the Zeller House. Right there. Metal roofs. Fence. It looks great. It looks in really great condition. So that was awesome to see it still standing there. Cheers. Boy, what a trek down memory lane here, huh? That right there is the old post office on Grand. Right there. This is the old community center. Well, no, this is the old strip mall on Grand between the old post office near Blackwell and the community center where they used to hold some concerts. There's this little strip mall, and I believe here was another location for Spaceland Arcade. Right there. So there you go. One of the requirements was across the street from that Spaceland location was a field, and up the field on the way to Shane and Shauna's house, and then further on to Andy's house, was a big pepper tree, and we used to refer to that pepper tree with furniture inside of it as E.T.'s home. So that was one of the requirements on the scavenger hunt, so I got that one too. This is apartments on, this is Blackwell right here, and these apartments here are where some friends of ours, Rich and Charlotte, moved when they left their Four Corners location. So there, and an incident between somebody and a car and a kid there. I won't go into details. There's Perrette Park at the end of Blackwell. There is the Circle K. There is the Circle K. There is the arcade there on Baldwin and Grand. There is the Raleigh Avenue and Walls location. There is this, right, we got the school there, Rome Hill, American Legion, Pepper Tree. I think we're going around in circles now. Yes, we are. So there we go there. Wow. It was a pretty cool. I've got some more photos to load up. Some other special locations near and dear to my heart. Maiden Lane, that was it. There you go. Maiden Lane. I remember that. Yeah, Maiden Lane. Totally. So you go down Blackwell, up through Perrette Park, and then up Maiden Lane. Right. Totally. Yeah, man. Totally. You know what? In honor of you being here, and to connect this moment here to the weekend that I had, here is a roach, a joint that I smoked with Eddie and Gary and a couple of other people that were there. So in honor of you being here, and since, you know, yeah, the first arcade, there you go. Since you can't be here, and probably don't smoke anymore anyway, I'm going to go ahead and load this roach from that day and pop it into my bong and toke it. Dude, because that's what kind of guy I am. I'm going to hook you up, bro. Paper and all. Yep. First arcade. It was also had a Four Corners location on Riverside Drive where it was the strip mall, and they had built the strip mall out on one portion, took up some of the parking lot and added on to it and created a restaurant, and it was a nice cafe for a while. And then they died. It was where Golden Dragon was, right? And so after that, the arcade popped up in that new dining area there. And I think at that incarnation might have utilized the kitchen and had snacks. I don't remember. But I remember playing pole position at that arcade location. We went by the cemetery, and the only location I know is Mike. Kevin Jeffries. Ah, there you go. So, somebody knows history. We went and we saw Michael, and I got a photo there. The grave, you can barely read the stone, and I so badly want to get that repaired or replaced or something, because it shouldn't be like that. And we went, Catfish Corner, we went up Gunnarsson, we went behind Four Corners, we saw the old go-kart track behind the Greasy Spoon restaurant. The building's gone, but the lamp post for the go-kart track is there, and if you look from above down at the track, you can still see a ghost image of the layout of the track. That image right there from above, I want to do a line drawing of that ghost image of the track from above and put that on a shirt and just put Greasy Spoon, hot food, cold beer, and go-karts, right? And create a graphic for that. I wish I knew what the name of that place was, and had a like a menu or something. Some old photographs. The place where the A-frame next to that, used to that old A-frame place that I think did skydiving and then real estate later. That building is gone, but there's a building right on its footprint. The Embers, that building is still there, but it's a sports bar now. Right next to it is that little Chinese restaurant. That's still there. It still says Chinese restaurant. There used to be, the Pizza Bowl used to be on the front of the go-kart track in the 80s, but in the 70s, it was a little greasy spoon restaurant that did, bacon and eggs and biscuits and gravy, and then burgers during the day, and then I don't even know if they were open in the evening, right? But they probably were because they did the go-kart track, right? So yeah, the Vista Donuts right there on Joy Street and Riverside. That's still there. The Machado School is still there. The little park, everything is still there. It all looks the same. The state park is still there, but it's a privately owned park now, and it looks way better than it ever did. All those little strip malls and stuff are there. We ate at Pizza Bowl, but it's the place where it was moved to in the 90s, and it's still there. Some new owners have it, but they kept the same food, so it's still the best pizza place in town. And if you talk to anybody at and they did, you talk to anybody at the reunion, and they were like, "Yep, Pizza Bowl. Don't go to Caesar's. Don't go to Dom. Don't go to here. Don't go to any of the other places. Pizza Bowl is one of the best places in town to get pizza." So that was cool to hear. That there's still kids of Asian family that's doing it now, and they're still knocking it out of the park. There's Sam, who owns the Elsinore West Marina. It's still the same park. He hasn't overdeveloped it or anything. Of course, if I owned the state, not the state park, but the West Marina, if I owned the West Marina, I would probably have won the lottery, first of all. And if I did win the lottery and bought the West Marina, I would take it back, but give it more, right? I would bring in a bunch of giant rocks and dirt and sea walls and that kind of shit, and create a big footprint for the place, and give it back its history, I would research and find photographs, hunt down things to give it its history, right? When I left the place, I didn't have a chance to go in and see Sam, but the lady working out front, his sister or friend or whoever it was, I gave her a shirt for Sam and said, "Please give this to Sam and say thank you," and and I really wanted to go in and see him, but I was so bleh. So I wanted to ask him if he knew the history of Lake Elsinore. But I gave him a Catfish Corner t-shirt. And I gave away a lot of t-shirts, mainly because you can't take them with you. So I wanted to kind of spread the love. So I gave away a bunch of t-shirts and some other things. And I think if I ever do anything like that again, it's just going to be here, and it's just going to be between me and the people who are here, and people who care enough to be here and do this kind of thing. And then I'm going to start doing, okay, answer me 3 questions, and I'm going to send you a special gift. And what I'll do is I'll know that person enough and enough about that person and what they liked from the past to curate a little package for them. Like Joey, he sent me gifts in the mail. And I know that Joey, even though we've only known each other a couple of years, has taken the time to think of something to send me that he knows that I'm going to like and appreciate, right? And I want to do that for others. And I wanted to do that at the event, so I think I'm going to transfer all my energy to just here and just focusing on not leaving here. And if I leave here, it's going to be via the live, because honestly, what's the point, right? All it does is shorten my life by putting myself out into stuff like that just takes so much out of me, right? I don't need any more of that. For sure and for certain, please no. One thing is I'm happy about that, because I wore my teeth down there, my dentures, that I'm actually wearing them every day now. So I just decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to wear them every day. So at some point today, after I've had a nap, I'm going to put them in, and I'm going to wear them until I go to bed. So on the days that I know I'm not going to take a nap, I'll just put them in early and wear them all day long. And then, most importantly, eat with them in so I can get used to that, right? So I can just get used to that. His brother robbed the pizza bowl. That's a great... see, I need to sit with at least a handful of people who are like-minded and get together on specific events and pull together a coherent story, because I can write. I can really... one of these days I am going to sit down and take the stories that I've written about our past and change the names. And then read it on one of my live shows, right? Because I've created some great chapters or episodes, if you will. I call them episodes, but they're really just chapters, and or parts, if you want to call them parts. I call them episodes because they contain like multiple scenes or chapters, right? So I like to write these episodes to what I call my life as a TV series. And that's what it feels like, because when I look back at my life in these little encapsulated memories that are like a 30-minute episode, right? So I kind of want to create like hour-long episodes, right? But along with each episode, I want to create backstory, interviews, links to things, so that it's an interactive story, right? If I could create my life as a TV show and do something like this and actually have a TV show where you could live stream it, and then not only that, but you could take a picture of this and it takes you here. Click on this and you can buy what's on the screen. You know, click here and you can watch an interview with the person who this character is based off of, right? Click over here and you can go into the bedroom, a virtual reality of the bedroom of the character in the episode. And then not only that, but in the virtual reality room of that character, you can interact, pull off a book, pull a tape and stick it in the cassette player or the 8-track player or the LP, turn on the TV and the Atari and play a game. You know, I want it to be that interactive, because that's the way the world is right now. And I'm a nothing nobody guy with no technical background at all, and I see that future. So that's what I want. That's what I want. If I were to create a series, a TV show, it would be that detailed and that in-depth, right? Click here and you go into a map, hit virtual reality, and now you're in our hometown as it was then, recreated, digitally recreated to the best of our collected memory, right? But I would need like a dozen people involved. I was there with Gary and Chris and Ed and a couple of other people, and especially Gary's son, Zach, I looked out across the lake and saw the old Naval Academy building, 3 or 4 story tall building, really big, and it's like shaped like, looking over it, it's shaped like this. It's got a front on the building, and then it's got these 2 wings that come out, these buildings off to the side. So you got this great front of the building, and then these wings that come out with all kinds of rooms and stuff. And I looked out, and it's owned right now by some kind of construction cable company, and they're just utilizing it as property to park equipment. And I thought, you know, if I won the lottery, I would buy that and I would turn it into a place where people could go to do music, learn about film, learn about TV, a place that had multiple editing studios and recording studios and all kinds of stuff, so that everyone in town had a place to go to be creative, a place where you could have music classes, teach instruments, right? Choreography and dancing, more like a school of the arts, but for anybody. Anybody in the area could go there and learn, and make it free, right? Make it by don't. If I could win the lottery and win $500,000, it would go to building that, or I'm sorry, 500 million, right? $500 million. It would go to building that and upkeep and into a program that would keep it going, bringing in donations and volunteers and just make that happen. And Zach, who's in his 20s, said, man, this town would totally need something like that. We totally need a place where people can go and learn and be creative and get it out, right? All the departments interacting and working together, right? And the way social media is right now, it would be a way to not just enhance that, right, and their lives in that, but how many other further teachers or musicians or directors or actors would be turned out of something like that? So if I had one wish with the winnings from a lottery, or some rich guy would just come over and say, here, I heard that, and here, go with that idea, right? Here's my businessman, my accountant, and my attorney. You have carte blanche. Go. You know, and that you will own and operate it and be able to decide who takes it and from there, you know. And I got the perfect guy. Whether or not I could talk him to coming back all the way back to our hometown to do it, but I would do that. And it would all be volunteer, except for the one guy and a few handful of people who are like responsible for the main part of it, right? But everything else would be volunteer. Everything else would be donation. Fundraising. But how bitchin' would that be, you know, to be able to send your kid over to the, you know, School of the Arts for free. All you got to do is show that you can do it, or show that you want to do it, and that you can do it, right? And then, you know, you're enrolled. So much so that we'd have to build more buildings and turn the wings into more wings, right? And housing, because there's a big footprint there. There's a lot of property there, and I see like a university looking thing. Take the original building and restore it from the ground up to its original state, and then recreate that on the opposite side, facing out toward the lake. So now you have these mirror image buildings facing away from each other that create a center where the pool is, and get rid of the pool, or turn it into a wading pool, right? Maybe that's what it is. But then in between the two, have two buildings that join the two wings that's separate. Just two block rectangular buildings, you know. there were apartments. I believe those are gone. Apartments, garages, and stuff. So I would develop it again, right? I'm so happy somebody knows somebody. I think what Joe. We don't say last names, but we had Joe. He was there. We used to call him. I don't know. It was something meant out of love. Twisted, because we were always stoned back then. But that was yeah. So I would redevelop. I would develop that back to its former beauty, only more, and then off to one side, I would probably create a giant sound stage building or two, giant warehouse, huge shit, and then have. And Mandy, yep, exactly. Out on the water, I would have a place that is a pool, an infinity pool that goes out into the water, right? So that when you're looking at it, and you've got tiny ships and models and shit going on the water, it goes out further into the lake, and you can just match it with lake water and color and everything, right, going out. Nowadays, you just change the color of the water. Put some smoke out there, some, some ambiance. Anyway, you could just do so much with that property, and I see that I'm still a dreamer. I'll never stop being a dreamer. I don't play the lottery often. Every once in a while, I'm like, what the hell? But it's not like I ever expect to win. But if I ever did, or ever had a benefactor, a sugar daddy, who just wanted me to follow that dream, right? It would be one of the best things. Because I would probably buy that, and I would buy a few other properties in the area that would kind of create a little empire in old Elsinore, right? The Elsinore West Marina, buy that and give it a boost. The Ortega Oaks Market corner, that whole corner, I would buy that whole corner because it's right across from the academy. I would buy the academy from that street there on one side all the way over to O'Hara's, and probably beyond that to where that old strip motel used to be. And then up from there, I would buy whatever's left of that field where they still land hang gliders, and the field behind Ortega Oaks Market. I would probably buy that and turn that into the area to land, and give it a target and a level spot, and encourage the landing of stuff over there, hang gliders and paragliders and all that, because they're still out there. It's still there. And buy a few spots around town where they can just land, right? If I had the billions and millions, I would probably buy the old rodeo ground, the old motocross across the freeway, whatever's left over there. I would buy the new motocross. I would buy the airport. I would buy DeJong's Dairy just to make sure that it stayed, or at least, if not buy it, become a partner and pour money into its existence, keeping it the same, not building it, turning it into $1 million organization, but keeping it the original family business, right? You mentioned somebody it was in an accident on Perrette Street. Yep, there you go. That's it. That's the event. That is the event that I was talking about. There you go. And I don't recall the exact. I remember him climbing the walls, freaking out about what had happened, but I don't recall the particular event itself because I was uninvolved. But yeah, it was a pretty traumatic situation for everyone involved. For sure to be told, man, I'm telling you. Well, I'm getting excited again, but it's more of an excitement for doing this song that I've been working on for a couple of years now. And I wrote it at a time in my life where I was really, just a couple of years ago, where I was really happy. In fact, you just mentioned a person who was here, and I was really happy when he was here for the longest time. And I was really able to do a lot of stuff here. I wasn't getting into this and all this other YouTube and getting out into the world and stuff because he wouldn't allow that. Yeah, I know you were there. I didn't want to get too much into it because sometimes that kind of trauma bugs people. That kind of stuff bugs me, so I don't know about other people. But I wrote this song, Living in Yesterday, because I've been living in yesterday my whole life. My whole life is about memories. So I wrote this song, and I'll be damned, I picked up my guitar yesterday or the day before and remembered how to play it, and then remembered how to sing it, and actually sang it really, really well without my teeth, remarkably enough. So one of my things is to start wearing my teeth every day, eating at least 2 meals with them in, and talking a lot so I get used to them, and most especially singing at least one song with them in, right? And hopefully John G will get in touch and have the time away from his very important situation to get together and collaborate with me on this, because he plays guitar and he's very musically inclined, and most especially he's an Elsinore brother. So if I could get this written completely, lyrically and musically, right, collaborated with an Elsinore brother, then get more Elsinore brothers to get together to record it, whether individual parts and then edited, or whether it all gets worked out, that would be a dream come true. So that's my new goal, is to get that song finished and try to do it in about a year, right? Because that's what it took to do the last one. So I really, really, really want to get that done. I also, the next most important thing that I'm going to throw all of myself into is Elsinore, My Life as a TV series. And since I already have like 3 episodes written, I just need to go back and rewrite those episodes. What I need to do is I need to take all of the characters that these are based on, right? The names of the character, the real true names of the people that they're based on. And sometimes it's not one person, but a couple of people kind of merge together to become a person. I need to make sure their names are all different from who they're kind of based loosely on, because I don't know their personal lives unless they involve me in their past. So I just have to know them as who I knew back then. And because this is a fictional autobiographical story of my life, it doesn't have to fit into the normal genre of autobiographies or fictional stories or true life tales, right? Because it's a conglomeration of all of that. And I really need to go back and start over again, rewrite each episode, and change the names to protect the innocent, so to speak, or to protect me, rather. Because once I change their names, you really won't have much of an idea who they are unless you're that person and you're going to say, oh, I used to live over there. Oh, I used to do that, and I had a brother, right? And that's about it, because everything else is going to be my imagination. You know, there might be a story where you were involved, but it's not really connected to you anymore because it was loosely based on you. Because I wasn't you, so I don't know exactly how to portray you in a story, right? So that's how it's going to be. On occasion, I would like it to be more than that. Like if I were to take this story, write the series, and then it would be turned into a TV show. Well, then everything would be rewritten into screenplay form, but at the same time, there would be the opportunity to go after people who are people who are based on the character, right? So it would be the opportunity to go after those people and get them involved and do interviews and backstories and show photos. This character is based on this guy, and this is the way he looked then, and this is him now, and he's talking about that event, yada, yada, yada. And like I said, make it more than just a show, and you can buy swag. More than that, right? Well, let's have a map of the town, and you can go to different places in the town and then go in there and go to a VR or go to a store and buy something or go to interviews and more information and history books and all kinds of shit. I would have a whole department developing more than just an episode. Okay, here's an episode. Now each episode has to have 1,000,000 different fingers you can follow during the episode, after the episode, before the episode, right? Fingers within fingers and trails and places that you can go and just go, oh my God, it's an endless world. Because that's what your memory is. That's what the synapses are, right? Everything just leads to something else. Sitting there with a couple of guys over the weekend, we're talking, and it's like, oh my God, that's right. And remember this? Yeah, dude, that dude, man. And it's like, you know, like having the conversation just now about the vehicle and the incident, right? It just brings up more and brings up more. And to have a whole department designed to just do that, just to create these elements within elements that just go on forever and link together and just go, go, go. So by the time you've explored all of this, a month has gone by and you're like, I need another episode. Oh, there's another episode. Yes. And then don't do it like, 10 episodes a year all at once. Do it 16 episodes a year. And do them once a month, except during holidays. And then you have your special holiday episodes, because we all had weird shit back then going on in the holidays. Everybody's got a holiday story, right? Whether it's a party or some weird event. I got so many holiday fucking stories, it's bizarre. My original story, all right, I start this thing, and I don't even come in until the 3rd episode. And at that point, I'm not even in Lake Elsinore. I'm in Temecula, in Fallbrook. I'm in Temecula, and that episode is an actual flashback to Fallbrook to 1977 when I was living there. So it just, there's just so much that can be worked into every story, right? And if you have special episodes, and every year you get all of these, so you're following the calendar, right? And this episode airs on the day back then that it actually was. The next month, it's going to be on an off day. It's not going to be exactly 30 days. It's going to be on a day that corresponds with the episode and the date in the episode. in between episodes, there'll be gap filler stuff that you can look at and watch. Little shorts where you can see what's happening with the character in between the episodes, right? Somebody needs to hire me to do some fucking entertainment, because I'll take the garbage that we have with the excellent technology that we have today, and I'll take it and just fucking knock it out. Because I'm an idea man. I can carry out some shit, but I'm more of an idea man, a dreamer. And if you were to give me, you know, the ability to take shit to the next level, oh boy, howdy, would I would go. All right, cool, dude. You got to get to the stores. Great chat. I want to record some of this episode. It's live. That means that if you go to my live playlist, it's all there. All you got to do is get on my channel and go to live, and it should be the most recent. Or look for the episode number. This is episode 99, I believe. So it should be posted in a day or so. It has to go through processing, and it has to, my algorithms have to check me out to make sure it's worthy. So as long as there's no hate speak and you know, weird crap, and I don't do any copyright stuff that's going to get me booted, it should be there. Peace, love, take care. I will see you on the flippity flip flop. Come back again, and let's talk more about what's going on. I guess it's just about time for me to get out of here too. I'm about an hour over, just about an hour over my normal schedule, so I should just go ahead and get the hell out of here, because I can. And we will, yeah, let me get rid of a bunch of these icons here, these screens that I have popped up, and that'll work, so that I only have where I'm at now and not a bunch of other stuff. Beth, I am thinking Beth is your wife's name. You're gone now, but thank you, and I really hope that with the few people that have been involved, I hope I can get them to be involved more, because it's not just involving yourselves in my life, but it's involving yourself in your past and your history. And that's what I really, really wanted to stress to people about all of this, and very few people got the point. Gary is one of those people who is, and his son, which is really great, who is a proponent of saving history in the past. So we're going to try to do that. I really, really want to try to create a documentary on Lake Elsinore. Elsinore raced the Elsinore motorcycle, right? The Honda Elsinore. It was named after that town. Steve McQueen used to race in the Grand. There's so much history, right? So, yes. Anyway, tomorrow I may be back with episode 99. I may not. I may take another day off. I'm going to try and get caught up to 100 this week, and then next week start episode 101. And we're going to take it as far as we can take it until I come up with a new design for the show. And then I think we're going to go from season 4 right into season 5. And I'll just create a somewhat similar format, but more focused. I need to focus things on just dealing with the past and not so much my present. it's obvious nobody gives a shit about my present, so I just want to focus on the past. Because that's where it's at for me anyway. I don't, you know, my present is beautiful. It's perfect with my wife and daughter and dogs and house and everything. It's everything that I want. I love my life. Everything outside of the home, So I just want to focus on those few like-minded people who kind of want the same results out of life. You know, have that now and enjoy the present, but at the same time you have to pay respect and pay homage to the past. Because if you don't, where are you? Right? Where are you indeed? So there you go. I guess it's time for a last bong hit. I'm going to do another one of these roaches here. Because, you know, I'm going to smoke them. They tie me back to the weekend. I might as well just take it out. I might as well just take it out. Take it out. Take it out of paper. Take it out now. Yeah, good to take it out. There's one there that's kind of big. I might just fucking spark it up. Smoke it down like the half a doobie that it is. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I may take another day off so that I only have 2 days to finish the week with, which will take me up to, you know, 99 and then 100. And then next week I come back. I don't like to have an off schedule for the week. And I did 3 episodes last, right, 2 episodes last week. I don't remember. I think I'm correct in that this is supposed to be episode 99 and then 100. Is that what this is? Are we at episode 99? This is the wrong book. Yeah. 97, 98. Did I do a Wednesday show? See, that's the thing. I don't know if I did a Wednesday show. I think I did. Yeah. Let's see. Supposedly I got a message, but I haven't found it yet, so we'll see. If not, I'll send a message saying, "Dude, what's up? I didn't get your message." Alright, people. I am going to get out of here. I just need to go. I got nothing to do but unload my van and just chill out. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to have some breakfast and start chilling out. Try to get an early nap so I can get my teeth in early and do some singing, some playing, some talking, maybe go out and do something. Have my own life and stop trying to get others to help me live it. Everybody's too into their own thing. I just wanted a piece of people's time. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Nothing much. I didn't want to be too invasive, you know. I just assumed that people would want what I want. But I guess not. Alright, people, be kind, spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something nice for yourself, but do something nice for somebody else as well. Why? Because you can. Makes you feel good, makes somebody else feel good, makes the world a better place, makes all of us better people, makes you a better person. Alright? Most especially stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you. You gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the effort, you gotta put in the energy. Stay weird. You know what's weird? Just go out and be nice to people for no other reason than to be nice. Do something for somebody and say, "Nah, don't worry about it, it's cool." You know, that's nice. Take care of yourselves, people. Take care of the people around you, even if you do not know them, especially if you don't know them. Alright, people, I will more than likely be back tomorrow or the next day. Depends on what I got going on. I'm not too worried about it this week because I'm still kind of down. So take care of yourselves, people. Love you. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.